Now the microphone works. That probably makes a difference. I apologize for the bit of a chaotic start. It's the cat's in my lap. I could explain why I'm a little bit late. For those that have not been watching the past few streams, I have a sick pet. I have a pet snake, and he's been feeling under the weather. And I had to take him to the veterinarian, and I was on the phone with the vet. Of course, right before I went live, the vet called me this morning. I called her back. She didn't pick up, so I left her a message, and she just gave me a call, so I had to answer it before I hopped on, so that's why I'm a little bit late. I apologize. But I appreciate everyone being here today, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. WoW's up, so we'll play WoW. I was going to do Baldur's Gate or WoW, but I want to hit 80. Like, good lord, man. I'm so damn close. It's all I've been thinking about. I've been trying to hold off with the story until I'm streaming, because I feel like it's more fun to do on stream versus me just doing it on my own. If I'm going to stream anyways, maybe we'll stream something exciting, right? So that's what we're going to do. So mostly storyline today. I did a Delve 3 yesterday. My like playtime was like all over the place. And when I'm on and I'm not streaming, my goal is to like do more chill stuff, I guess, or the more exciting stuff. I know all this stuff came out today, so I can do more exciting stuff with you guys. God, Mickey, I gotta do your nails. Holy moly. I'm gonna slice my arm off. So that's all. Oh, don't use coffer keys until level 8 delves. That's what someone's saying now. So there's all this new stuff I don't know about. Yesterday, I had a fun story, though, so... Sorry, my cat's a little bit... The whole time she's been ignoring me until we go live. I love it. It's so on brand for cats. But, yesterday, I was in this cat form, and I'm just chilling here, and a purple cat came up and started, like, rubbing on me and emoting, like, sniff and purr and growl. Like, it's so strange. And then I just started playing along, and they started talking to me. Long story short, they're like, oh, I like your Mage Tower skin. I'm like, yeah, I like your skin. I was trying to explain that I wanted to get the purple skin, this X-Pack, because I've never PvP'd, never done rated PvP, and you get it through doing rated PvP, and that's my goal, one of my goals. And she said, well, I have a friend that does rated PvP. I can't invite you to the guild because the guild is all Worgen. But we can still group together if you want to do rated PvP just to get the skin. But when they said that, I said, I have a Worgen Druid. I would love to join, just for shits and giggles. And so I'm part of probably the most racist guild in World of Warcraft, because nobody can join unless you're a Worgen. So that sounds pretty racist to me, but I think I'm okay with it. So I'm sorry that you guys are inferior to the Worgens, but that's life, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. And this character's not a Worgen, by the way. This character is a Tauren, a High Mountain Tauren. So this guy can't join the guild, but his small Tauren brain wouldn't understand what the educated Worgens are doing in their ivory towers in their Worgen-only guild. They control the world and the weather, the Worgens in that guild. So we'll do this quest really quick, and then we'll pop back into like some story stuff.
Stay productive.
I can smell the sulfur from here. Thanks for getting the bucket and blooms. So something happened last. So I'm just reading this. This cat is so needy right now. I love her so much, but all day I've been sitting here, and she wanted nothing to do with me, or doing other stuff too. And now she's just so obsessed. Of course, but goodness. I did a few quests yesterday, all about smuggling and stuff, and like that was a continuation of some of the other quests. Some of the storylines in this X-Pack are very adult in theme, which I appreciate, because... What is that? Home is where the candle is. Available quests. Because it just, I don't know, it seems like they're a little bit more respectful, I guess, to the end user by allowing us to, like, letting us handle more adult themes, because it's more interesting. I think if the themes are a little bit more heavier topics, like smuggling and stuff, it's a little bit more fun than just like big bad guy, destroy the town, come save us from big bad guy. That seems like a Mickey Mouse storyline, and that gets really boring really fast. But if you can give us all kinds of twists and turns with espionage, you don't know who's on the inside, who's on the take, are you corrupt, are you playing an anti-hero, morals are questionable, ethics are questionable, that's more interesting. That holds my interest a little bit more. When everybody's morally gray, and it's not so good and bad, at least that to me, I find more fascinating. I care more about the story. Okay, Missy. She is so demanding right now, and I have to cut her nails. So this quest, I think, is the same one. Yes. Which I can't do yet, because I think I have to do the story mode quest until it pops up. So the story mode quest is all the way over here, so we're going to do that. Because when I was trying to pick up this quest before, it said, after you do these, I believe, the NPC, whose name I forgot, his name was like Sniffles or something, he becomes someone that you can get more quests off of. But they don't tell you that. Which I thought was a little bit frustrating, because, you know, it's a new X-Pack, and the X-Pack just came out, and we're already relying on players on Wowhead to try to do, like, the navigation for us, because Blizzard forgot to say, by the way, this quest is showing up on the map, but you cannot do it until you do more quests, and then it'll show up. That's a huge oversight, especially when you made people pay for, like, a few extra days of beta and stuff. Like, you gotta fix that shit. But, whatever. I've been playing a little bit of a bear to try to do the delves, just because it was a little bit tough as a cat, and it was like such a steamroll as a bear. It seems, at least from my perspective, that the tanking delves are a little bit more... they give you a little more leeway. I guess if you're willing to tank them or heal them, I imagine they soften the difficulty of the delves, just to try to incentivize you to maybe play those roles, hoping that maybe you'll then carry on those roles in other aspects as well. Because I think it's difficult to incentivize DPS players to want to play a role that's not DPS, especially because there's very little benefit to doing so. If you're already not a diehard tank player or healer, why bother taking on a role when most of the time it's going to be a negative experience? And I mean that as someone that loves tanking. It's just, unless you're running with your absolute friends that you can trust that are really cool, most people will treat you poorly if you're a tank or DPS compared to if you're a tank or healer compared to if you're a DPS, because DPSs are just, they fall to the wayside, and it's easier to forget they exist. Their role isn't as important, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean if a tank screws up or a healer screws up, it's very obvious, and they don't let you forget it. And that, it's just, the rewards that you get for being a tank and the rewards you get for being a DPS are the same, so why bother with the social faux pas of having to deal with, like, toxic people for, like, no extra benefit? So my point is, I think they're trying to show you how powerful you can be in a delve by yourself, so you can have fun and fall in love with the class, so you become a tank player, and then you don't want to change. So the benefit of being a tank is just playing a tank. I don't know if that's going to work, but it certainly feels that way. It's just when I tried the difficulty of a 3 delve compared to a 2 delve, the 3 felt easier in a tank, the 2 felt on feral DPS. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So we're doing this quest really quick. I'm sorry, this cat is making this a lot harder to play properly. I'm playing with one hand right now, just have to hold her up. But I'm really excited to hit 80. Today's the day we're gonna hit 80. We're half a bar away from 78. We got 2 more levels to go. We're probably not getting into mythics or anything anytime soon, but I didn't even know it was coming out today. My friend told me. But at least we'll be max level. So that's really cool. I would have been max level a while ago, but I was intentionally waiting to try to level on stream so I could do the story on stream, because I wanted to do this as a hobby, and I thought, what would be better content than, like, the most current WoW storyline? Especially because, like, it's actually what I want to play. I know people at stream often play like whatever's trendy, and I just do not care. I do not care about growing the stream enough to play what's trendy. If you don't want to watch it because I'm not playing what's trendy, like, watch something else. At some point, people will find this, and they'll enjoy it, and then we'll have something special here, and that's just how it goes. And that's sort of how I've done everything in life, and it takes longer, but generally what you find is there's, like, more transparency, there's more passion in it. The people that are here or are part of the thing really want to be there. And I generally like when things are scrappy like that, because the people that do stick around are really in it for the right reasons. So that's all. I've seen what happens when people chase, like, virality or, like, online success, because if you want to grow online, if you actually want to grow on Twitch right now, this is what you do. First off, just chatting is the best way to grow, because it's the algorithm on Twitch is a disaster, but people have very short attention spans, and people that are watching TikTok do the hard work for you. Generally, audiences curate the TikToks, so you don't have to find the bad TikToks to find the good stuff. So if you're watching someone like XQC or Kai or someone else, they have audiences that are curating the top tier stuff for them. If you can just steal those same memes or just follow those same pages that they're doing, you could essentially create your own curated list of stuff and then just watch it on Just Chatting. You would essentially be watching the same content, and that just by the nature of, because the fact that it's popular would help with discoverability. Even if the algorithm is playing against you, just because it's what people are looking for. Copy their titles, like literally just copy whatever they do, because they all copy each other. And it's not that they're unoriginal, it's that the methodology for success is, once someone figures out what virality is, everybody does that same methodology until the well runs dry, and then someone else figures out a new methodology, and then it's just, you pivot and you do the same thing. So I'll give you an example. All these just chatting streamers were not just chatting streamers. They all played video games, but then Just Chatting blew up, and then they all started slowly playing less video games, going more React content. So that's what's working right now. So if you do React content right now, it may last another 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 5 years, it could be the rest of Twitch, I don't know. But it's what's hot right now. So if you do it, it will increase your chances, and you will grow, and I've seen it happen. But, and you see this often, people burn the hell out because they don't want to do it. Because people are doing it to chase the fame, but like, they're not in it. So they're going through the motions because they're getting views, they're getting hits, but like it's exhausting because they're pretending to be enjoyed. They're pretending to be on for the camera. And I know people, including my brother, God bless him, who right now is filming at a YouTube studio because he works for like these studios where he's a presenter, he writes the scripts, does stuff like that. But when he tried to do it on himself, and even when he does it for some of these like other organizations, he says it is work. It's like they make it appear like fun, and people that say they're really in it often. It's a facade. It's exhausting, and unless you're really into these stories, unless you're really into like celebrity gossip, it's draining. And you think getting paid to like search stories on the internet all day sounds like a great gig, and maybe it is, but when you turn quote unquote your passion into something that has to make profit, it sort of sucks the fun out of the passion. And that's why I have no intentions of ever making a dime with streaming, because I don't want to. This is supposed to be fun, and I don't want to set any preconceived notions that this is supposed to be anything else. And that's why I'd rather like stay at 1 or no viewers and just have fun than try to do Just Chatting and React content and like, screw that. If people want to watch because they like whatever's going on, that's wonderful. We can create a community, we can have a good time, everybody can be themselves. There's no preconceived notions or judgment or any of that stuff. And I'd rather just, to me, it's easier to do that, personally. That's a long-winded way to say it, but I mean, it's just, I just see that, I see it a lot. I see a lot of people transition really quick. Once they get a taste of a little bit of success, they're like, whatever it takes to get more of that success, I'll just like change completely who I am. But what always happens is they usually burn out or the content suffers, and it's just, I mean, look. I watch a lot of streamers. Without calling out names, there's all the communities are saying the same thing about the same streamer or different streamers. The person that watches like this person or that person or that person or that person. The communities are they're not part of the same community. So like maybe the person that watches Asmongold is not the same community as Kai Cenat. Sometimes they are, but not always. But my point is, if you look at the Reddit threads, if you look at the Twitter threads, if you look at, it's always the same conversation of this person's not the same, it's not why I started watching them, I don't like what they're becoming, I don't like the React content. And I find it fascinating that like all of these end users are noticing the transition. They're noticing these people chasing the trends, but they still watch them. So it's a weird, strange, vicious cycle of the streamer doesn't seem happy doing it, the user doesn't seem happy watching it, but there's money involved, but no one seems to enjoy it, but there's still money involved, so everybody still does it. It's so weird and dystopian. It's so strange. But yeah, I don't know. And this stream is like insanity, and I'm aware of that. I'm aware that I'm like a neurotic psycho, and I've been rambling for the past like 20 minutes to no one, and I'm okay with that because it's fun, dude. That's the point of it, right? Like, it's fun. Now the cat moved, and now we can play. But that's all. So that's all. Because I was talking to my brother about it. We're gonna play. We'll play. We weaken Candle King's grasp. So right, the Candle King, we killed him. He was a leader. He has an ancient relic, symbol of hope, called the Candle Crown. Cool. The Dark Flame Candle. I see. So we're gonna call him out. We're gonna sneak and go grab the We're gonna go grab his candle when we distract him. It sounds like. Is this a delve? This might be a delve. Oh, apply the disguise. That's fun. Oh, but I was just so what I was saying is okay.
Sneak in. Take back crown.
Fun. My tank, yeah. Oh, I have new talent. Very neat. Yeah, so eventually you get them all, which is cool. So my brother, I saw my brother this weekend. Him and my wonderful fiance were very kind. Been having a bit of a rough go. You can't freaking tell. And they were very kind. They surprised me, bought me tickets to see Weezer live. Oh, gotta get out of that, I guess. There you go. Disguise Cole. Disguise yourself to infiltrate the Lost Mines. Remove the disguise if already active. So I have the disguise on right now. They bought me tickets to see Weezer, which was very exciting and kind. So the fiance and I went down to see them at the concert hall, and I met my brother afterwards because it was quite late and the subway wasn't running any longer. So he was kind enough to give us a ride home, and we talked along the way. And he was talking to me about just his career and burnout and how many people in his industry, which is the entertainment industry, get burned out so easy because they all want the success, they want the fame, but it comes at the cost, I guess, of having the endurance to do a lot of stuff you don't want to do or don't care about, but feign interest. And that's what I think a lot of news organizations do, and that's why I think we don't like news, because they seem to be so fascinated in the most mundane shit, and we just don't care. And like, it seems so disingenuous, personally. And that's what he was talking about, that like, it's so popular, this disingenuous attitude where you're so excited, hey, what's up, YouTube? You know, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. But it seems like the younger generation, the generation after us, the one that everybody complains about, the TikTok generation, it seems like they don't really like it very much. They're fed up with it. They see through it. So it's funny that, like, everybody's so quick to, like, poop on the young generation, the TikTok generation. They have no attention span, but they seem to be smart. They seem to be more aware of the facade that is, like, often the online personas than a lot of the older generations are. So I just find it fascinating that, for whatever reason, there seems to be this, like, frustration, or I don't know the word, hatred, but people are like, oh, this young generation with their TikToks, their short attention spans, I think they're going to take over the world. They seem really intuitive. They seem to get the tech really quick. The young kids know how to operate iPads, like, and they know features that I have no idea about. What it's doing to their brain may be a separate conversation. But this young generation, I genuinely think, will make, like, big strides as far as, like, society goes, as far as maybe in the sciences or tech. Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Do I just straight up attack this guy? Yep, straight up attack him. But that's all. When I see some of the way the younger people operate on TikTok, or just the way they think, they were always born in technology. Like Bane says, you didn't see technology until you were a man. I was born in it. I knew nothing else until I was a man. Right? Whatever the quote is. That's the kids. They grew up in the tech, so, like, they know nothing else. So their brains are, like, wired differently. And I mean, I don't know how it works for attention, but they certainly are very smart and insightful and very wise at a young age. And I don't hear a lot of that. I hear a lot of people, my generation or older, complaining about TikTok and how these kids, like, have no attention span and blah, 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 blah. I think everybody's overlooking their intelligence, personally.
Symbol of hope. Candor can no take it from us. Now we escape. Let's go.
You will escape in a second. First, you gotta loot everything. My friend, I have very few friends that are, like, comfortable talking about, like, mental health and stuff. I have, like, one friend, one or two maybe, that are, like, very open about it. But that's because we're close. But the majority of my friends, God forbid if they would ever talk about that stuff. And maybe it's because they're not close enough, I get it. But I feel like that's a bit of a systemic problem in society, that you have to be, like, so close to, like, open up about, like, mental health related stuff, when it's, like, it's one of the few things that almost every single person at some point in their life is going to encounter. And maybe if it was more spoken about on a global scale, we'd have better techniques for dealing with it, instead of reaching 50, having a nervous breakdown, and then spending $250 an hour to speak to someone half your age about how to recover from a panic attack while you're driving your kids to school. And that's what my parents went through, and that's what their parents went through. And if you watch Mad Men, which is a brilliant show, a lot of the people in that show think they're having a heart attack or feel like they're going crazy, and it's just a panic attack. But they didn't know that because that knowledge wasn't there. So you can imagine how scary it is to not even know a panic attack is a thing, to not even know mental health exists, and to live in a society where if you complain about these symptoms, they're like, your heart is probably giving out, you're probably dying, or you're about to go insane, we need to lock you in an insane asylum. And it wasn't that long ago when things were like that. This show took place in the 1960s, all the way up into the 70s and the 80s. Mental health became a thing in like the 90s. Even in the 90s and early 2000s, people were fighting, still saying like, it's not that big of a deal. So the fact that these kids today are so open about it, they're so transparent about it, like, which I've always been. That's why I'm like such a disaster on the stream right now. It's been a very anxious week, but I don't care. I'm not afraid to hide it. I've never been afraid to hide it. Better I should be the martyr that everybody makes fun of for being a kook. But speaking about me having panic attacks and anxiety, because when I hear other people talk about it, like Dan Harris, like Sam Harris, the books that I read, it makes me feel better to understand that what I'm feeling is predictable. It's a unique experience, but a panic attack is still a predictable event. And that makes me feel better that it's not so novel. So that's why I share all this. That's why I'm completely transparent. That's why I'm such a kook the way I am, because I just do not care. And I think that me being like this eventually will have more benefit to someone else, even if it's one person watching this at 3:30 in the morning on their phone, sitting on the toilet by themselves at a truck stop. I don't care. If it helps that one person, it's worth it. So that's why I let my freak flag fly, and here we are.
What is your query?
This is like way different than most streams, I would say. And that's intentional. It's very, very intentional. I could keep it under wraps. I did that most of the time in my life. I just remain quiet. I just stick to the status quo. But this is very cathartic, and it's fun, and I enjoy it. And last time, I got 3 followers, which was very exciting. And I think that was because we're onto something here. I believe we are onto something here. So I'll stick to my guns on that one. We may not have overthrown the Candle King, but our work here surely revealed some of the pressure facing Gun Dargaz. If my friend watches this, he's gonna shit all over me how I'm pronouncing this. He always shits on me how I pronounce things. Oh, good Christ. It's made us more than a few new allies as well. Our new friends will not be forgotten on my word as speaker. There is a regrettable amount of available housing in Gun Dargaz? Gun Dargaz? Is that how you say Gun Dargaz? As of late, it will be nice to feel the city come to life again, and we can certainly use the manpower. Let's bring these guys home. Let's do it, boys.
Return if you have more queries. I am sorry for what has happened to your people. I understand what it feels like to watch your home slip away.
At least we're friends now, yes? Not all is doom. More friends means less doom.
I do have to say, I really like her. The girl with the Doc Ock back. I think it's sick. I think she looks so sick. I think that as far as like using the same skins a million times to make the same races and calling it something new is sort of like tiresome. But at least with these dwarfs this time, they seem different enough that it feels a little bit more like a new race. If those are unlockable features, I don't know. But some of the mechanized things I've seen with them seem pretty sweet. So if those are available for us to make the characters with, it's different enough that it feels a little bit more like a different race than just another dwarf, which is sort of cool. Oh, that's sick. I didn't know all this would open up. That's amazing. Wow.
The Candle King may still hold power, Skitter, but your people have a home in Gundargaz.
Gundaryaz. There you go.
Help new friends. Many hands make light work.
May your cause hold true.
That's Chris. There's the quest. There's the candle quest now. There he is. Skitter. I said Sniffles or something. So I didn't know how you got up. I always just flew manually or took the flight path. I'm like, that's so cumbersome. Why is there not like a faster way up? But I'm glad there's a portal there now. That's sick. Watch it just be a mage portal though. Watch a mage just drop that and like it's gonna go away, but it's not. I can tell it's a permanent portal. Wrench in the works. Looks like the High Speaker is addressing his workers. It seems something has finally shaken them from their complacency. It's big words, complacency. And their time away from the awakening machine is affecting them. Perhaps this would be a good opportunity for everyone to hear what they have to say. It's probably going to be cinematic.
Sometimes diplomacy means
So my understanding of the storyline is that there are very hard set rules. And when you're on this island, if you're one of these dwarves, like, this is your directive, this is what you're forced to do, this is what you have to do. And a few of the dwarves are like, look, it looks like we're not going to be doing this. I guess before it went on for infinity. As long as the machine thing worked, it would keep, they would shut down, people would restart them, they'd start back up, and it would just start the cycle again forever, and they would just do this forever. But it seems like they realized that their death now may be permanent because this machine's not working. So whatever this machine is, that would restart them. So with that understanding of, not finality, whatever the word is, where you know that there's a timeline, you know there's an end point. Like a human, like, you know, like, at some point, there's death. Knowing that that's looming over you sometimes gives you a little bit of a... I just heard something, I don't know what that was. Gives you a little bit of, motivator to push and maybe pursue your dreams a little bit more. And in this case, a lot of the characters are like, screw it, I understand my directive is this, I don't want to do this. If this is the last of it, then I'm going to like, look over the ocean. That's how I want to die. I'm going to, you know, do the stuff that, even though it's illegal, it's not immoral. It makes my life a little bit easier, so I understand my directive is this, I'm going to push back a little bit. That's like the morally gray stuff. That's why she said, like, democracy sometimes, or diplomacy sometimes stirring the pot. It's fascinating. I love it. This is like old school WoW story. That's what this feels like to me. This feels like you're dealing with real life consequences and ideas, but you're using the WoW characters as vehicles to tell them and explore them. And one of those things is like, is things that are illegal but not immoral. And that's what that smuggling quest was. Or another one is like letting go of a loved one. When the guy had Alzheimer's and he was slowly dying and he wanted to overlook his last days on the ocean. Brilliant heavy subjects. And I thought they're handling it with grace. So I'm really excited to see like the other storylines, the other two zones. I was told the next zone is like one of the best zones in a while. People say it's one of the most prettiest and most fun zones in many previous X packs. So I can't wait. So, find out how we can help, teach new friends about kobolds. Cool. So, they are just living amongst these dwarves now, which is a nice story. That's nice. We saved them, we freed them from their oppressor, and that's a really nice story. Oh, we got a pet. That's cute. That's a really cool pet. That would be a sick mount. I bet that is a mount somewhere. So that's another really heavy subject. These guys were like slaves under the Candle King or whatever. And we freed them from their oppressor. Again, like, it's sick. That was a really cool storyline. I enjoyed it.
I see Speaker Prince has returned. As long
Are we preparing for more
Whoops.
Noobian attacks?
Didn't mean to do that.
Earth and above us have fought that battle, and we've recovered from our own minor raid. Why haven't we heard more about Taylock? We're currently investigating. You would be wise to avoid that distant destination.
What's Taylock? She didn't ask anything.
All the more reason to restore our awakening.
Bugged or something. Interesting.
No further questions. Return to your assigned duties. Praise the High Speaker.
So that dude's standing there, so I can't really see him, but he's up there. But clearly, it seems like he's corrupt, and he's not answering the questions. It seems like he's avoiding the questions. That's what it seems like. He knows more. The more discontent is starting to grow. Yeah. And we need an awakening machine. Recharge the body, refocus the mind. Yeah, I think it's fascinating how there's both sides of the argument here. I do think he's corrupt. I don't agree with the traditionalists who are like, no, he's doing his best. I think there is something funky going on, but we'll see. I mean, that's what's so fascinating, because I don't know for sure. I could be wrong. He could be trying his best, and that's what I mean, like, morally gray. Like, it's not clear-cut whether he's a good or bad guy, and that holds my interest to see what comes next a little bit more than, like, those dragons. That fire dragon, Fyrak, he came out of nowhere, and he's like, okay, I get it, like, you're a bad guy. But you're not even, like, a bad guy that's, like, interesting with the Joker. You're just, like, I don't know, dude. You're just, like, a boring bad guy. Just a two-dimensional bad guy. We're hearing more rumors about... Oh, I'm not saying that name. Ore production. Apparently we haven't received shipments in weeks, and the town's foreman has disappeared. Now the high speaker is discouraging anyone from traveling there. See, there's something sketchy going on. The guy's disappearing, he doesn't want us going there, so there's something happening there that we need to figure out.
Speak with the council in Dornegal. They need to hear about this.
In the meantime, I want to investigate Tayloch.
Tayloch.
Something about those missing shipments.
I'm coming with you, lad.
Sick. We get Magni back. I like Magni. So, this X-Pack for the first time has actually got me intrigued because there's a lot of mystery and a lot of guessing and a lot of whodunit, who's guilty, who's legit. I love it. I love it so much. I'm fascinated by it. It felt like, to me, Fyrak came out of nowhere. It felt like those dragons came out of nowhere, and I don't know why I need to care about that. It doesn't seem like tied to the world as we know it. It just felt like you found a new island, here's a new enemy, go give him a hand. Versus here, the fate of like the world that you're living on is at stake. That's why you're fighting. The stake seems a little bit higher. And there is a bit of a... This is the strange balancing act of storytelling. You want this... It almost seems that the stake always has to be higher, but at some point, you can't save the world every time. That's why the Avengers, I think, lost the excitement, because every time the world's going to end, and every time they save the world. When the stakes are that high every time, it eventually you become like numb to it. So the stakes are high for this X-Pack. I'm hoping in more X-Packs maybe we can reel it back a little bit. Maybe it could be a different kind of storyline. Maybe not so focused on like the whole world is going to die. Because even if it's just saving a small corner of the universe, even if it's just helping pandas reclaim their land, that works. That works for me. It just has to be something I care about, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe if you give me enough of a story where the characters feel real enough, even if it's not life or death situation, I think we're still interested enough. And I'll give you an example, and then I'll stop because I don't shut up. The smuggling quest wasn't life or death, but it was interesting. And so is this quest. The guy doesn't want you to go to that zone, wherever that zone is. The foremen are missing. We're supposed to get materials from there. We haven't gotten materials for a long time. Why does he not want us to go? We should be checking it out. If we're all working together for a common goal, wouldn't it make sense that he would send some of us to go check it out? But clearly he's trying to cover something up. That's like, do you see? It's not like life or death. It's just a small storyline, but it's interesting. So I'm curious. I want to go there now. I want to see what's he hiding. What are we going to find out? Is he corrupt? And maybe I'm in the minority for being excited about that, but for me personally, like that's some better storytelling than like all of Shadowlands, all of Dragonflight. Interesting. Okay, one more quest. I have a lot of stuff I have to sell as well. This is probably a huge upgrade. Yeah, 515, crazy upgrade. I did Delve 3 yesterday, that was a lot of fun. I apologize if I'm so high energy today, though. It's like worse than normal. I know, I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. So let's listen to Grandma's Gribble story. Oh, cool. Oh, it's a cinematic kind of thing. I like when they tell stories like this, like the Pandaria quest, where you're gonna play as like her, and you have to like do the things that she's telling the story. That's fun. Oh, we actually fight these guys. Okay. Alright, if we're gonna fight, we're gonna pull a bunch then. Oh, we can't with those rocks. I see. So there's the first bug. Can't do the world boss in a raid group. Hill doesn't count. I think that happened during the Emerald Dream event. I think when the Emerald Dream first came out, I don't think I was getting credit because I was in a group. And everybody said if you leave group and you hit it without being in a raid, it counts. And then it worked. And that same night, or like the day after, they fixed it. But I remember that happening too. That's a 6 Scorpion. Wow. See, so like, look, it's so strange to me that they're green. Because normally it would scale with your level. But I'm noticing that Sex Pack. The stuff is not scaling like it once did. Which I don't mind. It makes it a little bit easier, but I don't know. I didn't intentionally avoid the main story to get more levels or gear. I just did whatever was in front of me. I took my time, I mined, I did herbs, and I'm here. And I'm only in the second zone, and this usually happens. Anytime I play an X-Pack, I don't rush to get the main story done. Whatever side quests are there with the main story, if I get distracted for a second. And I usually hit max before I reach the last zone, but never this fast. This is the fastest I've ever leveled in an X-Pack. Casually, I guess. And that is a pretty big upgrade. Sick. But the reason why I'm just like so like all over the place, it's just been a very stressful few weeks, and I've been handling it very poorly, which is fine. Working on it, work in progress. To be honest, that's why I started streaming. My wonderful therapist said, you got to do something that like has no stakes, that you have no intentions of winning or failing. It's just for fun. It's just a neutral thing that you do just to have fun. And when you step away, there's no winning or losing. It's just a relaxing thing, and that's what this is. Even though it don't seem so relaxed, but it's forces me to be distracted, I guess, because I'm on. I have to talk. I have to be present. So that's why I like doing it, I think. Plus, like, you know, eventually we develop a community from it. We can run some older raids, you know, have chill groups for like mythics about like having to deal with elitists, stuff like that. So that's all. But yeah, just dealing with the sick snake and health issues of my own. Like, it is crazy. It all happened at once. Like, I had to go to the hospital for all these tests a week ago. It was only like a week ago. It felt like it was months ago already. And then a few days after that, I actually scheduled to have my snake taken in, because he was actually sick before I had to go to the hospital. But the hospital appointment was, I booked it almost a year ago. It took so long to finally get all these tests done that I couldn't move it when my snake got sick. So I had to say, like, I gotta move the snake appointment one day down, and then go to the hospital, then come back up and take him to the vet. And that's what we did. And it's not fair. It's dark, and I'm being attacked by something. What is that? Was I supposed to die? Or go crunch? I see. So I may have supposed to die there, but because I had well-honed instincts, it protected me with like the I don't know if I was supposed to die or maybe go really low health, but that's my cheat death, so that worked. That's strange. Another story. Is this gonna be like 3 or 4 of these? But yeah, so it's been a lot. So we're back from the hospital. That was a stressful event. Still recovering from that. And then I had to take the snake into the vet. And the snake in the vet is just... I'm still speaking to them because it's slow recovery. Reptiles take a while to recover. But I have to give them like intermuscular injections, which require a needle. And I'm super shaky. And I'm a nervous wreck. A hypochondriac and neurotic. And the last thing I need to do is giving anything, including myself, a syringe. But I have to do it. So I've been doing it. It's every 3 days. I did one yesterday. He's unbelievably tolerant. I'm so very lucky of how much he clearly loves me because he understands that I'm trying to help him. But it's just stressful to see a pet that you love so dearly. He's almost 20 years old. I've had him for almost my whole life. He's been nothing but kind to me, and a piece of technology screwed up on me. And I didn't know it, and because of that, that's why I got sick. Because it was reading that his humidity and temperature was okay when it wasn't. And I didn't know that until I realized something's not right. And it was the tech. The reading was inaccurate. But I relied on it for so long that I didn't even consider that eventually it'll when it breaks, it won't appear like it's broken. It'll appear like it's still functioning. It's just not reading it properly anymore. And I learned my lesson. So, and I hate that me learning my lesson is him having to suffer. So that's partially why it's been such a rough week, because I feel very helpless to watch him be as uncomfortable as he is, and he's made a tremendous improvement since I've taken him to the veterinarian. And he's been taking medication, the antibiotic, we have a cream for him, and giving him baths every day. But still, it's not fair, like, that he has to suffer because of my ignorance, because I screwed up like that. I'm not handling that well. And I understand there's nothing you can do, but it is what it is. Like, that's the full truth of the situation. I handle my health scare way better. I handle anything related to, like, myself way easier than if it's someone else I hold dear to me. because I feel very helpless and I'm a control freak. That's part of the anxiety. And if I feel like there's nothing I can do to fix the situation, I just have to sit there and suffer in it. And that is like the worst feeling. But that's life, and I understand that. But it still does make it easier. That's all. But he's coming around the bend, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, but like a perfect example is like, I didn't really want to stream today. I didn't think it'd be a great stream because of how I'm feeling. I didn't get much sleep last night. Like legit having panic attacks in the middle of the night. God bless my fiance for trying to take care of me when she has work very early the next morning. But I still streamed because I think it's important to show up even when you don't feel like it. See, I like almost died. It's so strange. I think it's important to show up when you don't feel like it, because it shows you that you're stronger than you think you are. And you remain consistent, and if I'm going to feel like this anyways, I may as well do something I enjoy, right? That's how I think, personally.
Hey, we're friends, okay?
Jesus Christ, this quest is annoying. I'm over this quest already. I'm going to keep doing this, just power through it, but it's very annoying. Just jump down? Oh, you use that? I see. Well, we'll just jump. Run! Oh, shit. Alright. Oh, now we save you? What's going on? Who's that? Oh. These guys. I wonder if this quest is related to why we can't go to that area. Because these guys are killing the kobolds, and that's what he doesn't want us to know. That we supposedly allied with them, but his people are also killing them simultaneously to steal their stuff? Maybe? Okay. Oops. Well, I heard that a bunch of Netflix shows are getting canceled after like one season. That's like the business model, which is insane. That they plan on, like, usually they don't want to renew stuff. It's more expensive to renew stuff than it is just create new shows, because if a show's a hit, then the actors ask for way more money than they did the first season, and they don't want to pay it, so like, screw it, we'll just start a new show, and then we'll just drop it after the first season. I don't know. That's sort of a dumb business model. I don't know how long that's going to last, but... And I know all these platforms are increasing prices, stopping sharing, all that stuff. I'm like, well, you never should share to begin with. It's like, I understand, but you have to understand we came from pirating. So if you don't make it easy for us to share, if you start charging more money, it's going to get to a point where people are just going to pirate. And that's just how it is. Like, it's very simple. Like, yeah, I can even visualize it for you. You have to give a scale, right? You have a scale, and the scale is pirating is a pain in the butt. So if I pay like $8 and I get a whole bunch of movies, then I'm more incentivized to use Netflix. But every time you add on more difficulty for Netflix, I can't share it as well. Well, that makes it balances the scale a little bit more. And then you say, you know what? If you're out of your home for too long, even though you're not sharing your Netflix with anyone, but we don't recognize this as your home, so we're going to kick you off if you're not there within 30 days. Again, it balances the scale even more. Every time they do something like that, it balances the scale to say, you know what, pirating doesn't look that bad of an idea. And especially because it's what people did before, good luck convincing them it's illegal. Good luck. Especially when all you do is tout how much money you're making every year. When Disney can't wait to tell you how much money they made year after year after year. I don't think people are going to feel bad for pirating their movies. I'm sorry to say. And I think the next generation or the next group of people that replace these CEOs that are going to get fired after all these places take a dip because eventually people jump ship, they're charging too much and they can get it for free online, I think they'll realize that, and all of a sudden the prices will go down again or the service will increase in quality. And I think it's because they realized we burned our customers too much. We're paying for convenience, we're not paying for access. We have access, we don't need access. We're paying for the convenience of not having to find a website. But if that convenience becomes too costly, we'll just go right back. I don't know why that's not obvious to people, but maybe it's because they're old fogies and they don't know what pirating is. That could be why. It could be because they're like 70 years old and they don't understand the idea of pirating. And that could be what it is. That's often the case in a lot of tech companies. You have these brilliant developers and people that work in the IT department, and they're the underlings, but they're in the trenches. They understand the end user, and they tell the CEOs, like, this is not how it works. I understand you want it to work that way, but this ain't how it works. And the CEO says, you don't know what you're talking about, and then the CEO usually gets fired. And that's usually what happens. It happened with Yahoo, I believe it happened with YouTube. Happens all the time. But not usually before they run it into the ground. Usually they'll run it into the ground, get a nice severance package, and then depart. That's usually what happens. It is what it is. In the end, like, no one suffers really but Netflix. We're still going to find the same shows. Like, you want to start charging more, people are just going to jump ship and just watch. Nothing's going to change. You think you can't find Netflix shows online? Like, get real. And I'm not incentivizing pirating, but, like, it's the same thing with drugs. Like, you're not going to stop people. You have to make it more convenient to do the right thing. Otherwise, people are just going to do what they want, and that's the end of it. There's no argument around that. Jesus Christ, another quest. That's all. Like, you know, we legalized pot in Canada, and it's not like he did us a favor by legalizing pot. You're just finally making money on it. It's not like no one ever had access to it. People always had access. You just weren't making a profit. So all you did was make it easier for yourself. And it's the same thing with Netflix. Like, do you want a profit or not? If you want a profit, don't get too greedy. If you get too greedy, you're going to lose 100% of the profit. And that's honestly what happened with cannabis as well, ironically, because people realized that, why would I... Ooh, that's fast. Why would I pay these prices when I was getting it on the street before? It has to be cheaper than the street, or I'm not going to... I'll just go back to the street. It's not like I wasn't on the street before. I'm not missing out on anything. It's just so... And they didn't believe that. They didn't believe that, and some still don't believe that. But if you talk to my brother, he'll be the first one to tell you that the weed stocks are just dying. They're just dying on a hill because they're so disconnected. And this is what a lot of people in the industry say. These old men that spent $500 million buying these weed companies are all going bankrupt because they don't understand the market. They think because it's legal, people will buy it. But it's the same people that bought it illegally before. So they're like, why would I get half the product for twice the price when I can get the same stuff I always got? I'm just happy with it. And that's Netflix, and that's pirating. Hopefully it's the last part of the quest. Seems like it. Jesus Christ. This is painful. If they just made this one long quest, I'd prefer it than the way they're doing it. Oh no, not the climbing. No, no, no. I used to do this in, goodness. Dragonflight all the time. What happened? Oh, fuck off. Oh my goodness. We're moving on up, like the Jeffersons. Holy crap, this is fast. What happened? I couldn't see. There we go. Okay. Wait a minute. I gotta go around, I see. Yeah, I watch a lot of streamers that I've always watched, and it's so strange to watch their chat say, like, yeah, they're not the same, they're falling off. It's like, I don't think they're falling off. I think they're just chasing trends because it's what got them, like, to the point where they're at now. And I think they're just showing that they're tired of it. I think that's really what it is. I don't think that they're not as good as they once were. I think they're just... They sort of sold their soul a little bit for fame. And now we're just seeing the price of that. And it's not to blame anyone. I think I would take the paycheck too, honestly, if someone offered me that much money. I can't say I wouldn't. If it resolved all your problems, to, like, you know, to shake hands with the devil, I can't. It's easy to have morals when that opportunity doesn't present itself. But I can't sit here and act morally superior to people because I don't think I would be able to say no to that either, to be honest with you. So I understand why. Interesting. This music sounds so much like Hans Zimmer. It's crazy. It's very Interstellar sounding. Yeah, she went up to the surface to see what the surface people are like and brought back a beautiful flower. The story's not bad, it just went on for too long, so I don't care. Yeah. I got the story, it's just a little boring, but I get it. Okay. Oh. Gotta clean up the place. That's strange that just popped up like that. I don't know why that was so delayed. Very strange. The Nightbot thing. Something I do need to work on is like promoting this on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but again, it's like why? I don't really plan on growing or anything. I really don't think there's much of an audience for like what I'm doing here. At least I don't have any expectations. I mean, I think it's insane if there is.
Nice weapon! No kill me!
Bit of a strange story. I thought this was fun. They'll have things a little bit later maybe than they've been. Although to be fair, like, that's something I don't want to have to come in with. Like, I don't want to have to hold the expectations of like keeping it light. Like, it is what it is. You know, everybody has good days and bad days, and if there's more bad days than good days, that's is what it is. But today, so I write stories, I write fiction, and I'm part of like a group of like all these other horror writers share their stories, and many times they've been very kind to me where they've featured a lot of my stories as like maybe some of the stories that stand out. They're like, this is a story we felt that everybody should see, and a lot of my stories have stood out enough that they've featured them. Oh, sorry, one sec. Repair's not going well. Here, new parts factory against rules to use scraps. Been told a lot. Okay, fix the machines. So this person made a very long diatribe, very long post. Let's see what else it was made of. Speak to me when you're ready to get started.
Do you need something?
Oh, I see. It says, do this, pull the lever. It's one of those quests. I see. Okay, one sec. So the gentleman essentially called out a bunch of writers. Yeah, he didn't. So what did he say? Pressure. Read me those numbers. Pressure. Steam pipe. That's the numbers. A little stuck. Maintenance should loosen it up. Too slow. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means. Do it again. Just keep doing it. I don't care. What's the pressure at? I hate these quests so much. They're so dumb. I've always hated these quests. What's the maintenance? Should loosen it up. The console, this thing. Loose smack. The pipe. The pipe's coming loose. Alright. What's the pressure at now? I'll tell you the story in a second. Throw the shut-off lever. It's stuck. Yeah. First off, the speed. Thank Christ it's done. So the person accused a whole bunch of writers, myself included, of being AI. And I thought that was like the highest compliment. Firstly, because he didn't think that I was able to write as many stories as I did in the time that I did. And secondly, I guess because he thought the quality of the work was too good to be written by a person. Which I thought it was the opposite. I thought he was saying that the work was so shit that he thought it was written by AI. But he claimed he thinks these are AI because he says he feels that they stole from other stories, and that's why he felt it was written by AI. which is fair. I mean, I'm grateful. I thought I held that as the highest compliment, that someone thought I was AI, because AI is damn good at what it does, to the point where people will vote for the wrong person, because they're tricked by AI. So it's good. So if my writing is good enough to be considered that, like, essentially, the way he worded it is, these people that are using AI to write are writing these stories because AI takes already successful writers that write books that are hits, and it takes that knowledge and it uses essences from already successful pieces to make another successful piece, and that's cheating. It makes a Frankenstein piece with already successful ideas. That's what he was saying, and he's saying my stories are all of that. So I took that as a huge compliment. But I had to explain to him, I'm like, buddy, if you think I'm using AI, have you seen how many grammatical errors? I gotta be using the stupidest AI in the world. For all the mistakes, and I've edited it so many times, but I'm so dyslexic that I still make those mistakes. That, like, there's no way an AI is that dumb. There's no way. And he looked at it, and he's like, you're absolutely correct. There's no way that's AI. I apologize. But I thought that was the highest compliment. So that's cool. Man, I catch mistakes all the time. All the time. That's why I publish for free. And I've had friends, people are like, why don't you just, like, self-publish a little bit? I want to look for an agent. But they're like, in the meantime, why don't you self-publish? You have all these stories for free. Just put it in a PDF, put it on Amazon, like, make at least 99 cents from it. But it feels wrong to charge people for things if it's not, like, professionally edited. Because there's mistakes in it. I'm aware there's mistakes, and I've tried to catch them, but I still catch more. Like I said, I'm, like, super dyslexic, so I suck at, like, catching my mistakes all the time. I read it 1,000 times, and I still find new problems. So, it is what it is. Like, I feel wrong charging someone for anything, and then they look at it, and they're like, this isn't properly edited. I feel ripped off. I don't know. I'll map the pipes out myself. Let's go over the plans together. Skip the puzzle, but will take a long time. Yeah, we're gonna see if we're doing the puzzle. I don't know if I feel like it. We'll see. Oh, I see it can be moved over. I don't love puzzles, I'll be honest with you. But that's gotta go on the top, clearly. And that's gotta go on the bottom, so that goes like that. Yeah, it's annoying. We have to move that over. I'm going to do the transition. Oh. Alright. That didn't seem right, but okay. That's not correct. That's not correct. That's correct. That's not correct, but that so far is correct. But we'll do this, because that doesn't make sense. We'll move this over, we'll bring that up, we'll bring that down, we'll bring that there, we'll bring that like that. We'll move that over. That goes up, that goes over, that goes over. Yeah, because that keeps going down, so it doesn't work. I hate puzzles. I could do this with enough time, but the answer is, do I care enough? That's the point. Like, for ego shit, do I care enough? And the answer is, no, not really. Not at all. I just want to have fun. I don't know, like, this is what I learned when I got younger, as I got older, I mean, with video games. Like, I don't have the patience for this shit. If I'm not having fun, fuck it. I don't need this experience. Like that, but it doesn't work. I have to have one that goes up. I know I have to have one that goes up. I'm aware of that. But then I just keep going down. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. We're just gonna skip it. I don't have the patience for this. Fuck it. I'm not having fun. Yeah, read the plans. So this is like a little bit of poor design, where like you're forcing someone to do a puzzle, and if you're not, you're punishing them. Like, well, it's going to take a while. There's no need for this to take this long. This is a form of punishment for not doing the puzzle. It's bad game design. There's no way around it. You can't justify to me, well, you should do it. It's part of the game. Fuck off. I don't want to do the puzzle. I paid for the game. I should have the autonomy to do what I want to do. That's how I feel about all video games. It's the same thing with Elden Ring. That's why I love Elden Ring. People complain about Elden Ring, about like, well, it's too easy. The game that makes you work for it. That's why the game was so brilliant. But what I loved about Elden Ring is unlike the other ones that make you work for it, they're like, look, you want to work for it? You can beat the whole game at level 1. But if you're struggling and you just want to see the game, if you just want to explore it, we'll go bleed build, go high dexterity, go light armor, you can roll through everything, you can one-shot bosses. And it's great. It's a great opportunity, because what it does is it gives people the opportunity to experience it if they that wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to experience it. And they're not punishing people for that. This feels like unnecessary punishment. I do not understand why. Someone can explain it to me. What the benefit? There has to be a benefit here, remember. This has to be a benefit to doing this. Because right now, all I'm doing is having a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not playing the game that I paid to play. And I understand it's a little quest, and that's all I'm complaining about, but it's a principle thing. That's where I'm going. From a game dev perspective, this would never work with a new company. They would be slaughtered for this. Crucified. This only works because the people are addicted to this game and have played it for a very long time, so they get away with stuff like this. But if a new developer existed, and one of the devs said, I have a perfect idea. We're going to ask people to do a puzzle, and if they don't do it, they don't get to play the game. They have to sit there and watch a little bar slowly go as punishment for not doing the puzzle. I cannot imagine that being a conversation. I can't imagine anyone else saying, that sounds like a fun experience. Let's punish them for not wanting to do something. And they don't, and the punishment is just like literally getting up away from the game, realizing there are other things you can do except play the game. Because that's what if I wasn't streaming. If I wasn't streaming right now, and that happened to me, I would get up away from the game that I paid for and go do something else. And in that time, I may get distracted and not come back to the game. That's not good. You want retention. So if that's what they did now, that explains why Blizzard's been having a hard time the whole way through. Because it's not, again, about this specific quest. It's the systemic thinking that led to the design of that kind of quest. And if that conversation's lost on you, then you are the perfect player for Blizzard Entertainment. They love you. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then you are the ideal player base for World of Warcraft. Because that's a serious systemic issue, which Blizzard does all the time. They punish you for fear of missing out. They punish you for things, and it feels like punishment. It's something I've always had with this game. It's a problem with Overwatch 2. If you miss out on something, you feel punished for it. You don't feel rewarded for doing something extra. You just feel punished for not doing it.
Measure twice, cut once.
It's amazing I'm getting so many texts all at once. Oh my god. My brother's sending me crazy Twitter things. All day long he sends me crazy Twitter things. That's so funny. So I don't know why my brother sent this to me. That's very funny. So, okay. My brother sent me something that Dave Grohl said that he had a child out of wedlock with another woman that was not his wife. I guess Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters has a wife and kids, and I guess he slept around with someone else and had a kid with someone else that wasn't his wife. And they're keeping the kid, and he made it public saying, like, I'm going to raise this kid, and I feel bad that I hurt my wife because I cheated on her, but I still have another kid. I can't abandon this kid. It's not right. So he made that post, and the top reply to that is his song, The Best of You, with him screaming in the mic, I have another confession to make. That's what my brother sent me. It's very funny. I love how quick Twitter is with, like, the trolls. That's what the internet's for, and I love that so much. So assist the foreman. How do I assist him? Leaky pipes patched. Yes. Help Janky. Did I miss something here? Oh, I guess that's this. I guess that's the other quest I gotta do, I guess. Try not to... So I think he gave me the quest to the pipes, and that will be his help. So is it up here? Is it... Yeah, you fly into it or something. What's going on? What did I just do? Where do I fly into? To patch it. That's strange. Those red things? Yeah, maybe? Do the red things turn green? Or just these? Just fly over those? You just fly over those. I get it. That's Sort of a strange quest, but it's neat. Very interesting. Yeah, but just Blizzard has this old school mentality where they like punishing you for things, and it's very strange. Like, they love stun lock mechanics, which feel bad. They feel bad to everyone involved, except for the person doing the stunning. And when you play games that are like... It seems like a lot of people that play Blizzard games are stuck in the Blizzard ecosystem, so they don't know any better. So it's like being in like an abusive relationship, where like you don't know any different, so you just accept it. But when I played other games, it's like, my god, like I forgot what games are supposed to feel like. Baldur's Gate being a perfect example of that. It's crazy. They give you so much for free, and it's like, the game's never ending. The devs, they listen to the community. The mods are free. It's nuts. People said the mod store on Baldur's Gate, which came out recently, has free stuff that's so crazy, that's so detailed. It's made with such passion and love that the free stuff is worth more than all the expensive stuff on the Starfield DLC store. People say the Starfield DLC store is an absolute disaster. It's expensive, half the things don't work, there's bugs, they never patched it, they took the money right away, but they didn't consider all the bugs involved with... So these people are like, I spent all this money and these things aren't working, and I reached out to like the developer of the mod or whoever, and they haven't heard back yet, so they're still out the money, but they don't even have what they paid for in full. And that is, I guess, the two sides of gaming. Like, one is like Starfield, the other side is Baldur's Gate, where Baldur's Gate's like, we're not going to charge anything, and you get like everything plus more for free. And that's why I won Game of the Year, and it deserved it. Honestly, it did deserve it. It was crazy. So the pressure is up top. I hate this flying so much. This thing. Fight him. Cool. Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why Dave Grohl even addressed it, that he has a child out of wedlock. It's sort of strange. This whole like mentality of people feeling like they have to answer to the press or whatever is very strange, because what if he just didn't say anything? What if Dave Grohl didn't say anything, and then like there were articles, and they were writing about it, and they were saying things, Dave Grohl hasn't responded, people on Twitter are calling him out. Like, why get in front of it? Why bother? Who cares? It's none of your business. It's strange. I just want to hear him rock and roll. I don't care who he's fucking. And it's almost like I'd almost be disappointed if he wasn't sleeping around. Because, like, he's such a rock star. Isn't that what rock stars do? Don't they, like, sleep around? It would almost be disappointing if he wasn't living that rock star lifestyle. It's almost like he would have to cut the long hair and give it back. Because then he's not a real rock star, right? Yeah, you have to do a few things that are morally questionable, but they're cool because you're a rock star.
We're shutting down. These friends made a pact to strike a final pose together. Thank you for honoring them.
That sounds a little bit like a suicide pact, if you ask me, but alright. Sure, man, whatever. Strange lump of wax. Interesting. I know there's like stuff going on with like Dr. Disrespect. I don't really know what that is, I haven't really followed it. But I think he just sort of ignored all whatever allegations were he was accused of, and it's just business as usual. So that's what happens, because what I've realized is, excuse me, the people that complain and call you out and say things on Twitter, these people have jobs, and they have to get back to their jobs, or they're going to be homeless, and they can't afford food. So if you just hold out long enough, they give up, because they genuinely, number one, don't care enough, and number two, if they do care enough, at some point they have to go back to work, or they're not going to have an internet connection to complain about. So, there's that. So that's nice to know, because before it seemed like when this whole cancel culture thing started, everybody was so afraid of getting canceled. If you just ignore it, it goes away. These people aren't intelligent enough to even really understand what they're fighting for. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but you have to understand, a lot of this cancel culture is just like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist like people say it exists. It exists if you believe in it, because then you make actions that hurt your career. Like Dave Grohl just did, by admitting this and saying, I'm so sorry. Like, there's no benefit to that. I don't see how that would help record sales. Oh, he looks like a good guy. Get out of here, good guy. Do you seriously think someone's gonna walk into, like, first off, no one buys records anymore, but is someone gonna walk into like a record store and say, man, I wanted to get that new Foo Fighters album, but I just don't like that he's sleeping with other women. I can't. And he didn't address it. Not only is he sleeping with other women, he didn't even address that he was sleeping with other women. If he addressed it, I think I'd buy the record. But I cannot, in my right mind, listen to this record because he did not address the allegations. So I'm gonna go buy R. Kelly. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just strange. Or the Rolling Stones, who slept with, like, 14-year-olds. Like, it's just strange. I don't know. I don't know where this whole moral superiority stick comes from. That's why I don't pretend to be, like, morally superior. Because, we're all hypocrites. I'm sure I've done stuff that's, like, not great. And I don't know what it is, but, because I generally keep to myself. You know what it is? I know what it is. I've made a bunch of horrible jokes. 100%. 100%. There's footage of me making the worst jokes imaginable, and I still do it, and I still will do it, because those are my friends, and that's what I'm like. And if that upsets you, I'm very sorry to hear that. But that's life. And I hope that one day you can see the difference between genuine, true in your heart and in your soul, genuine hatred and racism, and just trying to make your friends laugh. Because there's a very significant difference. And if you don't know the difference, then that's a luxury, that you've never had to experience it. And I am grateful for that, because I hope you never have to experience serious, genuine hatred or racism, which I have through most of my high school. So if you don't know the difference, I'm very grateful to hear that you've had a very fortunate existence up to this point, which it seems like most have, which is a good thing, because it means that we're working on being more tolerant. So that's a great step in the right direction. What a train wreck this stream is. Assigned tasks complete. I'll check back on these folks on my next scheduled patrol. There was one more Earthen I must tend to today. He is very special to me. You've been especially considerate, colleague, so I'd like for you to see him. Let us travel west a bit closer to the falls.
Praise the machine.
This is the main story, right, still? I think it is, because it led me here. I don't think it is, though. I think it gets so confusing. This is a strange one. When it first came out, I didn't understand it. But now I realize you can just avoid them. And usually they don't hit you. I don't really know. It was sort of a strange mechanic.
You are acknowledged. Stay productive.
Full with selection of his favorite gems. We don't really know what it's like when we go into stasis, but he wanted to spend his last moments contemplating the natural beauty of Azeroth. I'm afraid someone or something has made off with the jewels. I see. So someone stole his jewels, so we're gonna look for it. So we're gonna find the waxy culprit who stole his jewels. Where's the waxy culprit? Is that it? Probably all the way down there. Oh, that's the delves. Wait a minute. Oh, I see it right here. I see. So we just follow it? I don't have to keep clicking it, right? Yeah. That's all. Like, I think if Dave Grohl said nothing would have changed. I don't think any less people are going to buy Foo Fighter albums. Like, it's none of his business. It's none of our business who he's sleeping with. I don't know what his relationship was with his wife. I understand he has kids. Again, it's none of my business. I think it's strange that he even addressed it. I understand, like, his PR team. To be fair, though, when, like, PR exists to exist, if PR didn't tell them, like, you should address this, they wouldn't have a job, because, like, their whole job is, like, we need to handle situations like this, and if they don't make a situation like this a mountain out of a molehill, why do they exist? They exist solely for situations like this. It's important to know that. So, like, I think about this, and this is my psychologist now saying they overthink everything. I think, like, wait a minute. So, someone's job exists solely for when bad things happen, like what just happened to Dave Grohl, so wouldn't they want to almost incentivize opportunities like that to happen to justify their existence? I would think so. I would think that you're almost hiring someone who benefits from your life going to shit so they could clean up the mess. It almost seems like they would then allow opportunities to sort of fall into place to make it easier for your life to go to shit so they can provide their value. I would. If I was in their position, if I was in the position of PR, I would certainly make things like women, drugs, and strange things easily accessible, because then it makes my job more useful. because then if the person who I'm caring for gets themselves in a pickle, I can show them how great I am at talking them at spinning the story so they can get out of it. And when I save the day, they keep me on board. Wow, my PR team was so great. Thank God my PR team allowed me to write this letter and show the world I was fucking around on my wife, and I still sold records. That was because my PR team saved the day. And maybe that's to a degree, but in the same sense, the PR team relishes in that. They benefit from that. Their value goes up if they handle that situation well. So it's just strange to hire someone that works so closely with you who benefits off, in a sense, saving your... just first bringing you to the brink of destruction and then saving you from it. I don't know. But when I talk about stuff like this all the time to my doctor, and she's like, you need a hobby and you gotta stop overthinking. So what do? I come on here to annoy you guys. I promise, streams moving forward won't be so chaotic. This is like lack of sleep, high stress, panic attacks all night. But I came on today, not even for you guys, in full transparency. I wanted to show myself that in spite of not feeling well, in spite of my brain saying, just skip today, I know you said... because I said in the Discord, which like very few people are a part of, I said in the Discord, I'm going live on these 3 days, and that's today, that's Thursday, I believe, and Sunday. And the reason why I called myself out like that is because I wanted to hold myself to that standard, whether I feel like it or not. And I didn't feel like doing it today. And you can tell that I don't feel like doing it today, but I'm still doing it because I need, for the sake of my sanity, a little bit of consistency in my life. And this is that consistency. And while I may have good days and bad days, today not being a great day, as you can see, I'm very chaotic, I'm still here. And I'd rather be here and be chaotic and have a shitty stream and have people be like, this guy's a psycho, than not be here at all and just ruminate. Because even being here and having this crazy stream still shows me that I have the strength to show up, and I have the strength to overcome what I'm feeling and still go through it, and still do what I had planned for the day. So, I apologize that you have to come on this ride with me, but if any of you ever encounter similar feelings, if I could give you any advice, it's to hold yourself accountable, whatever that means. If that means that you need to do something for someone, if that means that you promise to do the dishes that day, if that means that you promise to clean your room, anything. Any little thing that you promise to do, even if you don't feel like doing it. If you do it anyways, afterwards, you'll still feel how you felt before, but you'll feel a little bit better because in spite of feeling how you felt before, you at least did something productive. And that gives you a little bit more power back. That's all it is, really. It's just about feeling like you don't have power. So me showing up to stream in spite of me not wanting to do it because I didn't sleep well and I'm anxious and I'm a nervous wreck and blah 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 blah. I still said, fine, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be like this, then you're going to look like an idiot on stream. You want to look like an idiot on stream, then look like an idiot on stream. But you're still showing up. You're still saying, this fear thing that exists in your head that prevents you from putting yourself out there and doing stuff is going to have to face the crowd. And if it wants to manifest itself like it did all stream and make me crazy and anxious and rambly, then that's fine. Do it. And, like, you know, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So my anxiety wanted to consume me today, so it can consume me on stream. Because I'm tired of just staying home and not doing the things that I want to do in life because my anxiety decided it wanted to be in the driver's seat. So if it's going to be in the driver's seat, at least I'm going to decide where we're driving to. And that's why we're here today, in spite of, you know, my nerves. Because I think that's a very important distinction. I'm not giving up control to the anxiety, but I'm certainly controlling where it goes. So that's why we're here. These are conversations that I like, you know, I can't really have with many people in my life because I don't think a lot of people quite understand mental health. I think a lot of people are in denial about their own mental health issues, which is why I think a lot of people are quick to judge that I'm like out of my mind, which I am. I'm not denying that. I am out of my mind. But in the same sense, I don't think I'm like super out of my mind more than the average person. I think a lot of people probably feel what I have going on in my head. I'm just verbalizing it, and a lot of people don't share it. I think that's the difference. I think I'm a little bit more self-aware in that regard. And that's not because I'm better or superior. I've just been at it a long time. I've read a lot of books. I've had a lot of therapy, which helps. And anyone is capable of getting to the point where they can become self-aware. But the first step is to recognize that it is a problem. Yeah, and that's all. So I felt that nothing else comes from the stream. Maybe someone can have a greater understanding of how to care for their own mental health and their own mental well-being, if nothing else. That would make me feel good, I think, in the end. Even if my suffering, if I have to suffer anyways, why not like turn myself? And this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. I'm not literally meaning this. Turn myself into a bit of a martyr in the sense of like making myself look foolish on stream because I'm rambling, because I'm saying silly shit, whatever I'm doing. But it's because if one person can get benefit from this, then let me look silly on stream. Because I never had that when I was younger, and I had to find it myself. And it took a long time. And I wish someone said to me when I was younger, what you're experiencing is a panic attack. It's normal. You can predict what's going to happen next. Whether it's like trouble breathing, dizziness, disorientation. No one told me any of that stuff when I was growing up. So I had to figure it out on my own. So now that I see people in my life going through it, I hand them all these resources. I talk to them about it. I'm transparent about it. I share the dirty details. I get like this to them. And that's why I want to be like this on stream. Because it's ugly, but it's honest. And I'd rather that. Because everything is filters, and everything is fake, and everything is disingenuous. And I feel when we come from a place of being genuine like this, it may be ugly at times, but I think there's more benefit to it than detriment, personally. Not to have heavy conversations. Not always going to be heavy conversations like this on stream. Very rarely, honestly. It's just, you know, with my pet being sick, with the stress of the health stuff, it just sort of came to a head. That's why we're here. But I'm going to cool down. I'm sorry. But it is an important thing to me. Like, mental health and self-care, transparency, these are big things. So it will be a common theme. Not that it's going to be super rambly all the time, but it will always be a common thread because it is an important part of my life. I'm constantly on the journey of wellness, of educating myself. And a big portion of that is being completely transparent with my feelings, my thoughts, my thinking process. That's all.
Please, proceed. Praise the machine.
I've always liked the musicians that I've always liked. Like Weezer's a very good example of that. I've always loved people that are tortured souls because I've always identified with it. My friend is streaming on Twitch. That's nice. I didn't know he streamed as well. Wow. Cool. I can't watch him because I think I'm streaming right now. But that's neat. But anyways, I like these tortured artists because I've always identified with them. And I think Weezer's a good example because Weezer, they have a lot of deep lyrics, but they hide it between like poppy riffs. So their songs, if you just listen to the melodies, but you don't read the lyrics or listen to the lyrics, you think they're all like upbeat pop songs. But if you listen to the lyrics, some of them are very heavy and poetic. And I've always found comfort in being able to like read about my experience because when musicians like Leonard Cohen or Weezer or Death Cab for Cutie, pick whatever emo band you want, you know, who cares? When they sing about their emotions, you're able to connect because sometimes you can't put into words how you feel, but sometimes an artist can or someone else can, and that sort of allows you to understand your own mind a little bit better. And that's why I've always loved the tortured artist. I've always loved like that archetype because I feel that often what they're contributing to is something much bigger than themselves. They're contributing to the human condition, to understanding who we all are, because what they're experiencing, while it may be a personal thing, it's also a very human thing, which is something we all go through. Heartache, heartbreak, losing a loved one, you know, sadness, comparison. So I've always identified with that, and I've gotten great value from it. So even if this is a strange way to be a little piece of that puzzle, even, you know, a very strange way indeed, I still feel it maybe is. Me being transparent about the suffering the same way they are on their records, maybe I can contribute to that for someone else, the same way that they've contributed it to me. Not that I'm claiming that's what this is, but it's just my crazy thinking, right? Like, you know. So it was kobolds who made off with the gems. I did not realize the waterworks were under attack. Our timing is lucky for the defenders down below. We must get the jewels back. I'll stay here and guard the remaining gems, but I implore you to complete a critical task. We'll go down to the waterworks and retrieve the rest. This is definitely not a storyline. But this is the end of it, clearly. It's so strange how the kobolds, there's like two separate versions of kobolds. There's like the evil ones and the good ones. Because these guys... I wonder I must have missed that. These guys are following, like, these... I don't believe they're under anyone's control. I don't think they're, like, mind controlled to be evil. I think they're just decided to not side with the other one. That is with us now. Sniffles, or whatever his name is. I keep screwing up the poor guy's name. But there's the one kobold, there's a few of them that we brought into our camp. And these guys are not those, clearly. But I wonder what the shift was when there was a split, where they said, no, we want to be with the good guys, and these guys are like, no, we're good with the bad guys. I think it's fascinating that they made these kobolds very large, and like, they gave them like a different skin, a different texture, whatever you want to call it. They're sort of like bigger, bulkier, humanoid, bruiser kobolds. I think that's neat. And something I didn't know is, I didn't know this race, this rat human thing, I didn't know this is more than WoW. I thought it was just a WoW thing. But then when I played Baldur's Gate, I learned that they were in that as well. And I learned that like it's just a fantasy thing. Maybe Dungeons and Dragons invented kobolds, is that how you say it? I didn't know that. I thought it was a WoW thing because I only knew them from WoW. So then when I played all these other games, I learned a lot of the creatures that are in WoW. Basilisks are not from WoW. Like, I was super ignorant because this was like my first like fantasy game. Look, World of Warcraft came out in like 2004, I think. And when I started, and I played it around then. I played close to release, and then I quit. But I've almost played it the whole time. I never capped in vanilla, but I played in vanilla. I played close to when it first came out, and then I quit, and then I really got into it about halfway through vanilla, and then BC came out, and by then I was like so addicted to the game. But I never hit max. I never hit max until after BC. So I played in vanilla, but I never hit max. I didn't understand the game, and my computer sucked. And I was very young. I was very, very young. So I didn't understand much of the mechanics, the storyline, or any of that stuff. I was also very sheltered as a kid, so some people grew up a lot faster than me. Maybe, so they had more experience, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. I was always just... I stayed young and innocent for a while. I didn't play video games. I played a lot of video games. The games were like boring, like Spyro stuff. Like WoW is a little bit more like adult themes. So I think maybe some of my friends that like understood the storylines and stuff like that, I was still that sort of sick. I didn't. So that's why I guess I'm so slow to learn about like all this stuff. I knew goblins and orcs because of Warhammer, so when I found out about goblins and orcs in here, I didn't think like it was something different. I knew that they were part of, yeah, I can't do... Let's do a delve. What do you guys think? I think a delve would be fun. But I didn't know, about, goblins and... Or no, sorry, kobolds and, there's a few other races in WoW that... Basilisk, there's a few other ones as well that are not WoW exclusive, that I thought were WoW exclusive, and I don't remember what they are now, but I was fascinated to learn they were not WoW exclusive. But I believe the Calaxi are. I think like the Calaxi are WoW exclusive. I don't know if like other bugmen like that. So that's pretty cool.
Keeps us safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
You know I've had followers last time, and I got like a new subscriber. We had like 140 subscribers, which is like crazy. And I would just love to know if anyone is ever willing to share, if anyone watches this later or is watching this now, whatever. What about this you like? Because I sincerely appreciate it, but I just don't feel like... I feel like there's so many other things that you like could watch. And then you'd ask, why are you doing this then if you're like asking why people are watching? Like I said, originally it was like selfish, just sort of like a way to like, I always wanted to stream, it's fun, the idea of it is very fun, and if we do build a community, of course I'm grateful. But I don't want to like, I don't want to lie about who I am, and I don't want to force people or trick people into something that I'm not. So I don't want to like put on a facade to make people think I'm one way when I'm not. It's too much work. So I guess I would just be curious to know what people find interesting, because if there's something I'm overlooking, but they find it interesting, then I'll try to lean into that to make a better experience for everyone. I guess that's my thinking. Brand spells and abilities have a chance to awaken the idol, shielding an injured player 50% of missing health. 40% during combat, the idol awakens, dealing moderate physical damage to an enemy, taunting them for 4 seconds. That That seems better, because that's more often. You only get the other one once every 2 minutes. That seems better. And we only get one there, so let's do this. Cool. This will be fun. Let's do it, boys.
You don't look busy.
I'll rescue the rest of the workers. Huh, alright.
Still working.
So I have to pick this up.
Are you?
Totem's power will drain whenever you take a step.
It's one of those. It's one of the step ones where I gotta be careful taking steps. Drop air totem? So if I drop it, then it doesn't lose the power, right? Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to read the mechanics. I'm so dumb. Stupid me. Jeez Louise. Alright, do it again.
Safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
So we pick this up. So I see 95. Does it... Fuel is only consumed while moving. Okay. So we'll drop it here. Right? No, we don't drop it. I gotta drop it. That's dropping it. We dropped it. Okay, we'll fight this guy. Alright, I'll fight this guy. Do I still have the totem? Am I holding on to it still? I didn't drop it yet. Drop. There, I dropped it. There we go. Okay. So now we fight him while it's dropped. Okay. Oh man, thank you for the, I see you said something on YouTube, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna, 1 second, I'm gonna read in just a second, I apologize, this guy's gonna kick my butt. 30 seconds, my friend, my apologies. I didn't know anyone was actually watching, I thought I was talking to myself. Sorry. Boom, this guy's got a butt ton of health, man. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. We'll survive. Okay, wait a minute. These guys are empowered or something now. Holy mogoly. So this delve is definitely hitting a little bit harder than the last one, but that's okay, we'll make it. It's gonna take a little bit. I wonder if this big guy empowered them or something, because they are not hitting as hard as they were a second ago. It's like they had a buff momentarily. Okay, I did see you said something. I just want to get to safety. We should be okay. Let's see what you said. I love your voice and how you speak. Very soothing. That's me. You're so kind. Thank you. I've actually heard that before. People say that I have a good voice for like narration and stuff, which I've personally never heard. But I appreciate it. And if enough people tell me, I guess it's true. So I sincerely appreciate that because it does mean a lot. I struggle with compliments, but I've always wanted to do voice work. I've always loved animation, and you know, James Earl Jones passed away recently, but I've always my God, he's probably the most iconic voice in like the history of film and television, right? But I've just loved narrators, BBC narrators, stuff. I think the idea is so neat that your voice is almost an instrument that you can use to like tell a story. So whenever someone has given me that compliment, which I've gotten more recently in recent years, it really means a lot. So I appreciate that. This is a little bit of self-promotion, but I'm not. I know self-promotion gets a bad rap, but I'm not actually selling anything. It's completely free. If you have any interest. I do tell horror stories on my personal channel, which is Lorne Bronstein, my name, and I narrate them. I have a new one, a really long one coming out, if you want to hear any more. But I don't know if that's your interest, but just if there is a lot of me speaking online, a little bit more professionally, not so rambly. Yeah, that's all. So I guess this resets the steps. It's very kind. I really appreciate you watching. It's crazy to think that people watch. Yeah. Wild. Oh, thanks, man. Well, I can, so I can put a link, but, if you type in, God, my name's hard to read, I'll type it for you, just a sec. if you prefer to read it, also you can read. It's all free. I put it up there for free because if I'm gonna ask people to check my stuff out, it doesn't feel right to like charge for it. That's why I'm okay with like the self-promo, because I'm not like selling you anything. It's just like if you want to entertain yourself, it's just free entertainment. But if you go on YouTube and you type in like that name, copy and paste it, you should find it. Or the name of my publication is Sessions with Dr. Botgore, which is a an anthology. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Tales from the Crypt, but it's a series of short stories that... Did I miss a strange disturbance? I missed something back there. It's a series of short stories unrelated to one another. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, or not. That are just like short tales, sort of like Tales from the Crypt. Sorry, I was a little distracted. They're not related, but they are all horror or psychological horror in element. And the one common theme they have is that often it starts or ends with an interview with someone named Dr. Botgore. And I'm sorry, my brain is mush. Okay, let me restart. In Tales from the Crypt, you always have the Crypt Keeper who introduces the story. He's sort of like your MC. He sort of says, today's tale is a tale about greed and this. And I like that idea. I like having a narrator introduce what the story's about before the story actually kicks off. So I created a character named Dr. Botgore, who's a therapist for monsters. And all of his... He has since passed away, but all of his notes have been found. And his notes are introductions to all these short horror stories. And I have a big long list of horror stories, maybe like 50 or so uploaded so far, both on YouTube and the Substack publication, both free. And yeah, I thought it was a really neat idea to sort of, because they're all unrelated. When I write some of the stories, I do reference other stories in the universe, so like they're all part of the same universe, multiverse. But I didn't want to have to write like one consistent story with the same characters. I just want to tell a new story, but how can I connect them all? They're connected with this like Crypt Keeper-like character, who's Dr. Botgore. I know it's super confusing. I'm sorry, my brain's a little bit mushy today. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I definitely could have done a better job explaining that. But in short, it's just like short horror stories. Some are much shorter than others, some are longer than others. But it's what I'm trying to do as my career. So I figured if I upload them online first, maybe I can eventually develop a bit of a following. And with a following, I could approach agents saying, you should represent me because I already have a following. I have an established following. And these people, the proof of concept is that these people are already interested in the stories. So you don't have to take a chance on me. I already took the chance. All you have to do is just present me in front of people who I wouldn't otherwise be able to have the opportunity to talk to. And I'll give you 10% for doing that. That's essentially what an agent does. They get you into rooms with people you wouldn't otherwise be able to talk to. So that's sort of my business plan, in a sense. My latest story though, like I'm really excited. I don't like, it feels wrong to like check it out, it's great, but I do think the latest one is not out yet. I've been working on it for a while. It's called Ravenmen, and it's a fairly longer one, and it will be part of a longer series. I wrote this whole universe for these characters, but this is the introduction story, and it's coming out. I was going to release it soon, but I had these health issues come up, so it ended up working out where I'm like, okay, because I didn't have time to edit it. When I wanted to release it originally, it's so close to Halloween now, I'll hold off and I'll release it for Halloween. So coming Halloween, this new series is going to release, which I'm really excited for because, again, I feel it's like some of my better work, personally. You're very kind. I appreciate you checking it out. It's very kind of you. Do you do reading at all? Are you interested in reading at all? Something I should probably do actually is download the Restream app, so I don't have to keep switching back between apps. took me a long... I've been writing for a long time, but it took me a while to put myself out there just because I had this narrative that people are, like, mean. People have been nothing but kind, like yourself included. I really appreciate it. And to be fair, I'm the same way. Like, if anybody I know puts themselves out there in any way to be vulnerable, whether it's sharing a table they made, a story they made, a song they made, whatever it is, I don't really care. Who am I to say whether it's good or not? Just the act of putting yourself out there and creating something from nothing that didn't exist in the world before is already a win, in my opinion. Most people talk about creating, very few actually do. So even if you create something that's subpar, I still think you're in a group, in a very small minority of creators. And when I say creators, I don't mean like YouTube creators. I mean like actually making a piece of art. It could be a drawing with crayons. I do not care. But if you're not reacting to something someone else created, but you're actually creating something, an original piece, whatever it is, who am I to say it's good or not good? I'm impressed that you had the creativity and the bravery to put something out, and something that didn't exist in the world before, and you've now added it to the world. That is like a very commendable thing, and I hold that in very high regard. Nice. Bible. A lot of people, I haven't personally read it, but it's clearly a lot of wisdom in there, because a lot of very intelligent people that I hold in high regard have shared many quotes with me, and it's very wise. Almost seems like one of the original books on philosophy, in a sense. It's philosophy for life, right? It's amazing how like one little book can have so much wisdom. Goodness, I'm sorry this is taking so long. They are hitting pretty hard, but I thought it'd be good XP, and I thought it'd be a fun challenge to try to do the highest level delve available. But this is way harder. This is way harder than the last delve that I did, which was a 3. So I don't know if the delves in different zones are a little bit more scaled, but I'm starting to get the hang of this one. But they do hurt more. They definitely hurt more. I don't know if this is a too personal a question you don't have to answer, but when you say you're reading the Bible, like, do you mean you read it like front to back? Or I know some people just will like open it to a random page when they're looking for advice, and just or they have specific favorite parts that they turn to. Got a respawn point, that's sick. Oh my goodness. Those fire blasts, man, they hurt. Holy moly. What happened to the sound effects? That's strange. There we go. That's weird. I wonder why they shut off. So the Delve 4 is out. I just can't do it yet because I'm not high enough level. I understand. Okay. After we do this Delve, we'll do a little bit more of the storyline. And then hopefully we'll hit 80. I was only going to stream till 5, but I was a little bit late because I was talking to the vet, so we'll go a little bit longer. Plus, if you're here, I'm grateful I can, I'll stay a little longer. Oh, get out of that, get out of that, get out of that! Holy moly. Alright, come on, buddy. You gonna stand in it now? Elder Ring Boss. Pulleys. What happened? What? That's strange. My, invoke didn't go off. Did I interrupt it? I didn't think I did. Can you be stunned? Nope. Nope, nope. Wow, this guy's got a bit of a sponge. He's a bit of a damage sponge or health sponge, whatever they call it. Okay, okay, okay. Relax. Holy moly, that did damage. Do I just mitigate that, or am I supposed to do something during that? Grow wax. What is the movement reduced by 25%? And then it just does that. Burn away. I get away from that. Maybe I just get away from that. I'm dumb. You just step away from it. That's how you mitigate it. Okay. Goodness gracious. I'm so silly sometimes. Oh boy. I must say the delves are fun. The delves are very fun. I really enjoy them. I bet it's going to be a blast with friends at higher levels, for sure. Let's grab another one. Hopefully I won't run out of these, though, right? Oh, I can fight him here. I don't have to pick it up. I can just stand here instead of picking it up, and then it doesn't go away. That's what I should have done. I'll just step out of it. That's fine. We'll get out of it. Although I think there are a few here, so it is meant for me to grab and move around with it, I get that. It's fine. That time. So it worked that time. So I must have interrupted the incarnation last time or something. Yeah, I'm just gonna mitigate through this. Like, I have enough health, it's fine. The healing, I don't really have to avoid it that much. The poison I'll step out of, but the fire I think I can mitigate. The iron fur, stuff like that. Burn away, we'll pop our heal, we'll pop Park Skin, yeah, we're fine, get out of town. Get out of that. I don't know if anyone watching at a later date or now is a fan of like OnlyFans and stuff, but I'm really excited. I really enjoyed that content, the hardcore WoW with all the streamers. I think it's a lot of fun. That's some like the best like Twitch content that's existed in a while, I find. Oh, look at all these mines, that's sick. It just feels like old Twitch, watching them all play hardcore, for me at least. It's a lot of fun. Exit delve with Levo bought after collecting rewards. Yes, sir. Well, so we did 3. Not bad. I definitely missed a lot of these, but that's okay. It all comes out in the wash. Okay. Did I get to see an epic? Yeah. Oh, one of those. Wow, that is almost a that is insane. That's almost 100 item levels. I know it's 40 short of 100 item levels, but that's crazy high of an upgrade. Cipher key. Dornogal. Interesting. That grants you primary stat to all nearby allies for 1 hour. Wait a minute. Does this go away? Is that a one-time use? I wonder. Well, I'm going to update the Twitch as well. Not the Twitch, my apologies. The Discord, but I wasn't expecting to hit 10 followers, which we ended up doing last stream, which is super exciting. But I said when I would do that, we'd have a little bit of like this is silly, but like this is what makes streaming fun for me. We have a little bit of a pizza party once we hit 10, which we did. So this Friday, and my streaming schedule isn't even on Fridays, but just so happens that this Friday I have like free time, so I'm gonna have an extra bonus stream. Anyone watching now, but I'll also announce it in the Discord if anyone is also part of the Discord. We'll be have like a pizza party stream on Friday just to celebrate like 10, which is very exciting. and maybe we'll just do like some fun content. Maybe we'll do like current WoW stuff too, but maybe also like if anyone's around and feels like it, maybe we can hop in a group together and maybe run some old transmog stuff or do some mount runs. Maybe it's like more of a, if anyone's around, whether it be my friends or anyone that's watching the Twitch at the time, anyone's welcome to join. Maybe do some mount runs or stuff like that. Maybe it'd be fun. Bit of the first community event or something.
Travel safe.
I know it's a big ask, so I thought I would just put it out there like now, so if anyone catches this VOD at a later date or whatever, in a few days from now, if you're available and feel like doing anything for fun, you know, anyone's welcome.
Keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't do anything I would.
So it's weird how we got a quest after this delve. Oh. I wasn't expecting that. Won't be interesting. What a Lovecraftian looking kind of boss. Did he say the truth is out there? That's X-Files. That's funny. All right. Well. These are quests, but they're not the story quest. That's the story quest all the way down there. So we'll hand these in really quick and then quickly do the story quest a little bit longer. Like we were supposed to. Is this a bug? Is that why I can't see them? That's where they are. Interesting. I'll be honest, I did not think WoW was going to be up now. I expected it to, I expected it to be down for hours because Mythics and Raids and all that was coming out. I was not prepared for it to be up when they said it would be up.
Returning to work.
You found the last gem. I'm glad Glintwick will no longer be after... Yeah, okay. It's not faceted like the rest. Interesting.
Praise the machine.
Man, this is a big one. Holy, it's a lot of quests. It's very nice. That was a nice quest. The guy died like that. He wanted to look at his gems one last time. Someone stole his gems. He brought them back. Very, very nice. Nice little storyline there. Okay, let's quickly do... Ooh, I'm going to tame this thing really quick. Nothing says exciting gameplay like a pet battle. So let's get into it. And a trick for anybody watching. If you want to get any pet, ever, always use... Corgi. Molten Corgi has Super Bark, and Super Bark is the best for taming anything because it will never kill anything. It cannot kill things. The attack cannot reduce the opponent below 1 health. That means if this thing has 10 health left and I cannot tame it because I need to get its health a little bit lower, you use Super Bark, and it doesn't matter that it crits for 1,000, it still will not kill it. No matter how much it hits for, it will always bring them to 1 health. If it would otherwise kill them, it will not kill them, but will bring them to 1 health. So it's almost like a guaranteed tame kind of move. That's why I always have them out. I think he will die, though. But I don't have these guys either, so if I don't catch this guy, the Super Bark will kill him, because that should burn through it, and that would probably kill him. Then I can always tame the other two, because I don't have them either. So anything I catch here is good, because I need it all. So we'll do that. I'll pass. If I can survive this, and he doesn't burn to death, I'll use Super Bark, and you'll see it probably drop him to like 1 or 8 health. We're gonna wait one more, because that's probably gonna kill him otherwise. Because the super bark wouldn't kill him, but if he takes 70 damage from the burn, that would kill him. So I could tame him now. I could tame him, but I'm gonna show you guys how super bark works. He's at 310 health. Super bark, which is actually weak against this guy, will still do more health. Even doing weak damage is still more health than he has. This will do a minimum of 323 damage. He has 310 health. He should die. Will you super bark? 1 health. That would have killed him, but it brings him to 1. That's why the Molten Corgi, or as I know him, Commander Kush, is the... And it doesn't have to be a Molten Corgi. I think there are a few beasts or animals, pets, that have super bark, but you just want an ability like super bark because it is a guaranteed tame. Now I'm gonna, I think I should hand in this quest and then call it, because unfortunately I do have to tend to my 6th snake tonight. I do have some plans tonight. That's why I did say the 3 to 5, but I was a little bit late because I was talking to the vet. So we'll head over to the new zone for the story, and maybe hand it in, see what they say about the new zone, and we'll call it from there. If that's okay with you guys, just because I do have some stuff I gotta do tonight, unfortunately, but next stream will be, Thursday, and lots more fun. We'll probably hit 80. No, I'll definitely hit 80. I'll definitely hit 80. If I'm not on stream when I hit 80, I'll record it, and then I'll upload it for you guys. That way, at least like you're a part of it, because I've been streaming more or less like the whole thing. So. Crazy. Block and this combo of Black Claw and Flock is just, it's OP. Okay, so we got the Delve quest, but we're not gonna do that. Let's where's the, wait a minute. All the way down there, huh? Okay. Let's do it this way instead of flying. Let's take it the old-fashioned way so we can at least explore it. And when we walk there, we make our way there, we'll oh, Disturbed Earth. Ooh, big upgrade. 509, obviously the 496. It should replace the 496 automatically. Yep, there you go. Yeah, so lots more to talk about next stream. Way less anxiety next stream. I'm sorry about the way this one started. I knew it going in. I didn't care. It's fine. Good days and bad days. This all comes out in the wash. I appreciate anyone showing up, so. Old glob of wax. We'll do that later. Let's go, go the old-fashioned way so we can explore. And then we make a right. Yep. Yes, I could fly, but this is more exciting, because then I get to experience the zone, which I like doing. This is what I do not on stream, because it's just... They worked so hard to make this look so big and epic, and when I'm flying through this, it doesn't have the same scale. See how cool this looks? Like, when I'm looking up, it's like, jeez, like, I feel so small in this zone. When you fly over it, it just takes that, it takes the sting out for me. It's not as exciting. It doesn't feel as big and scary. Like that thing, like, that's gray? Are you kidding me? I've literally grayed out of this zone because I've leveled? That's insane, dude. Holy moly, man. That's nuts. I was not expecting that. Teaches you the art of fish finding. I still haven't learned fishing, this version of fishing. I sense a glyph. There's a rare there too. So we'll look for the glyph. Right there. There it is. But I want the rare as well, so. Got the glyph, let's find the rare. Is he up here? Where is he? Is that him? That's not him. He must be below me. Get it? Blow me, blow me. Oh, there he is. He's neat looking. Wow, I've seen these guys many times, but this is a variation of this thing. I haven't seen this specific one, but like these rock guys, they've been in like WoW for a long time. But this is a very interesting looking one. You can tell it's like a newer version of it. Ooh, we got a blue. It's a leather. Nice, but it's not an upgrade. It's so strange how a blue is not replaced by a green from a rare. Alright, I'm not gonna fight these guys. Oh, I see. Okay, back this way. All the way around. Right? That's how we get there? Where are we? Yep, all the way around. Okay. Can I mount on something else that's like doesn't fly if I'm using the ground mounts? No, it's all... Alright, screw it. What I was shocked with is, one of my flying mounts. Is it Mountain of Mounts? Is that what it's from? No, that's from Mountain of Mounts. I don't know. I don't remember the quest. Is it Ota? Is that how you say it? OTTUK? Right there. This thing is so strange to me. This doesn't Dragon Ride. This is the mount for having all the mounts, and it doesn't Dragon Ride. It seems insane to me. It's so insane to me. Because you'd think, like, of all of them, it would be the one that Dragon rides. It's literally the mount that you get from getting all the mounts, or like, you know, the mount achievement. So when the entire expansion is predicated on mount mechanics, you would think the people that farmed mounts and got a mount for farming mounts, the mount would be included in the mount mechanics, or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the mount, it's so strange. It's so strange. You think like it would be an incentivization for wanting to do it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. 80 train. Hey, dude, it's nice to see you. Yeah, 80 train. We're almost there. But yeah, it's just strange. I don't know. To get this was like 600 mounts or something. Beth business service competition. Rubians. We need some. Okay, this is like a whole bunch of side quests again. That's the main quest. Okay, we're gonna go to the main quest really quick, and I probably should call it because I have so much I have to do tonight. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise, that's crazy. I can't believe it's going very well. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. It's crazy.
Even now,
Intruders, the beasts.
Just spilled coffee. I have these terrible,
Shut down.
I have these terrible... I mean, they were gifted. I like them a lot. They're these, sorry, I spilled coffee on it. These coasters, and they're really neat because they're, like, records. And I have, like, Eric Clapton, Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, Jerry Garcia. And they're coasters, and they're really cool, but the problem is because they're plastic, when they get wet, things stick to them. So I lift my cup up, and it comes with it, and then it drops, and as it drops, I sort of, like, hold on to it for a second, and shit goes everywhere. I don't know if it's a common coaster problem. I'm at work, wow. Dude, that's crazy. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow, so does that mean you're having to run the show by yourself? If I understood that correctly? Normally you'd be working with 3 other people? But they were called off site, so now it's just you.
Why are all these creatures here? What happened?
This isn't one of your books, lad. Watch your step.
what I find so fascinating about this character is, like Magni, we know Magni. Magni's been rough and tumble. He's almost been on the brink of death. He's fought in old gods. He's seen it all. But his son hasn't left the city, I believe. So his son has just read everything in books, and his son's more like well educated than Magni maybe, and understands like theoretical applications, but he hasn't actually gotten like dirt under his fingernails. So while he thinks he knows more, and he probably does because he's so well read, Magni has like in the field experience. Magni has like the grit that only comes with like facing like certain death. And I think it's a really cool dichotomy where his son's like so confused about like the way Magni operates, and Magni's just like, you don't get it until you're sort of like in it, because they both have value. Because the knowledge is very valuable, the insight is valuable, like he has a huge knowledge of the history of all this stuff, Magni's kid, and Magni doesn't. But what Magni does have is the insight of like being in war, being on the front lines, and I think having them both there and the dichotomy of the two and the relationship together is like peak storytelling, in my nerdy opinion. Man, you're so smart. That's so smart. Treating it with a hydrophobic coating, because that would prevent it from... That's like a spray or something I imagine I would get at Home Depot. Wow, and you run the machine by yourself. Wow, that's crazy. And you have to shut down tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds like it would have been easier with some help. That's actually the position my the fiance who I'm meeting her tonight, but she actually has to shut down her work as well by herself because a few people called in sick. But I mean, sometimes, look, I don't know what your work is like, but sometimes I guess if you have a good thing going, you have a system and a routine, sometimes people can sometimes get in that way. Not that it's not nice to have help, but I guess if you're used to it enough and you've set up a system, sometimes you're like a smooth operator. You know what you're doing, you just have a flow, you get in, you get out, you get it done, you go home. Sometimes.
Sorry, I got distracted.
The foreman isn't here, obviously, but the evidence points to her being here recently. We should go further into town. Maybe it was some sort of attack on some kind of... getting ahead of myself. Yeah, he is getting a little bit ahead of himself.
I'll contemplate what we talked about.
Stay a while and listen.
Dagran, lad, I'm concerned about you.
What's wrong, Grandad?
Oh, it does my heart good to see you so excited about this. But I'm concerned about your safety. Oh, you've got a good eye for solving problems, lad, but not for danger. You've got a brave heart, but you're reckless.
That's what I was thinking.
Sometimes I think you're so distracted figuring things out that you leap before you look.
That's so funny that you said that.
Be careful. And Grandad, I'm also worried about you.
Me? What do you mean?
You also seem distracted. Sometimes you're angry. Like it hurts. Like it's all too much.
This is so deep for WoW. It's crazy.
I've had a burden to bear for too long. I just don't want you to get hurt, lad.
Like, what is this story? I'm not complaining. I love it.
Adventures work sometimes, Grandad. And not just in books. I tell you what. I'll learn to be more cautious.
I was just about to say that.
And you'll try
Wow, it's funny how they said
to
that.
enjoy an adventure now and then.
Aye, lad. I'll enjoy them even more when I'm with you.
It's very sweet.
It's a deal.
There's a few layers here, which is great. I'm happy to hear this. Just it's easy to shut down just a bunch of switches. I'm happy to hear that, for your sake at least, because you're on your own. But what I was gonna say is, I thought it was so funny how they spoon-fed the story to us. But I thought what was great about the story was how Magni feels there's nothing he could learn from the grandson, because Magni's hardened. He's been in war. Magni's seen it all. He's the speaker of Azeroth. But the son is he's, or not the, I keep calling him his son, it's his grandson. The grandson has like fresh eyes. The grandson doesn't have the perspective Magni has, and while Magni feels there's no benefit to that, because Magni's been there, he's seen it. He comes with children's eyes. He comes with a hopefulness that maybe Magni is too hardened off to see. And when you put them together, it allows Magni to sort of chisel away on that part of himself that he hardened off because he didn't want to get hurt in life. And being close to his grandson now allows him to be a little bit closer to that part that he thought didn't exist in him anymore. And here we go, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop after this. Maybe this is super duper made up metaphor stuff, but maybe this stupid writer in me, maybe Magni being made out of stone is also a metaphor for him like having like a stone around his heart, where he's like cut off from the world and he's cut off from emotion. He had to be made a man of stone so he could handle it and save the day, but he never addressed the issues that he had with his daughter. And his daughter even said at the beginning of the sex pack, hopefully you'll have a better relationship with your grandson than you had with me, because you were a terrible father. Maybe him being physical stone is also him being emotionally stone, right? Silly. You're correct. It's a dichotomy that it is shocking that Blizzard didn't dig into earlier. You're absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%. It seems like this X-Pack has respected the end user a little bit more. They used to. It felt like some of the way they would deliver stories to us, like I think we're too dumb to understand a little bit of nuance. But it seems like, I don't know if it's Chris Metzen returning or if it's someone else, but it seems like stories are a little bit more adult in theme and they respect us a little bit more. They don't hand deliver us everything. The stories are a little bit more are deeper. There's more layers. There's more like threads that go off in different directions, but all meet in the middle at the same time. It's fascinating. Now, Baldur's Gate is still like the best storytelling in the world. In the world. I love Elden Ring. Good luck catching up to Baldur's Gate. That is, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't have a lot of experience with video games, but Baldur's Gate is the best example of storytelling I have ever seen in the history of video games. I've never experienced anything like it. And I was going to play it today as well, but this came out, I want to hit 80, it's so new, but I have 2 more streams planned this week. One of those streams has to be Baldur's Gate.
Disappearing.
It's just, it requires, at least for me,
Changing?
I don't want to play it for like 45 minutes. I need to like have a chunk where I can get like a good, at least 2 hours in. Because otherwise, I don't like piecemealing the story. I want to like really be able to absorb it. And when I play for like a half an hour or 45 minutes at a time, I'm just not, I feel like I'm cutting the story off right in the middle. I forget what happened before. I want to be able to like sort of close the loop so I can sort of get like the gist of what happened. I agree. I totally agree. It's for sure. It felt like writing before was like all over the place. Like no one actually knew how to write, and now they hired professionals that actually understand like character development. Or like you said, they loosened the reins and said, "Okay, we'll give you the opportunity to actually tell a story." Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So much to discuss.
Do you have any interest in playing at all, Torin?
These mugs are still full. The drinks look fresh, but there's no one around. I think people were here recently.
Whoa, oh, I see.
Hello? Someone there? I doubt it. The entrance is boarded up.
It's like, this is a cool quest, how like, the town is abandoned. Why is it abandoned? Let's figure out the clues as to why it's abandoned. This felt like another quest which existed, and this is when storytelling was still great in vanilla, in my opinion, which I believe it was Jeff Kaplan who created Overwatch, who wrote a lot of the quests. I could be incorrect, but I believe he was the quest designer, I believe. There was a quest in Westfall where...
A lot of names.
Sorry, I'm just listening.
Everywhere we go, we find the names of people lost.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a quest in Westfall where, and the whole quest in Westfall is surrounding the dead mines and how a group of people built Stormwind and they never got paid for it, and because they never got paid, they felt slighted, and their revenge is to, I think, set up like attacks on Stormwind, something along those lines, and you're trying to figure out who was behind it. We believe it was the foreman who didn't get paid, but they have a leader. Someone's telling all the foremen to like attack Stormwind or do all the shady dealings or kill people, and you don't know who it is. And as you start uncovering more stuff. You start finding letters, because this guy says, can you find my old, like, letter that I left before I had to abandon my house, before the thieves took over? It's still in my house. You go to Westfall, you fight thieves, you get the letter, you bring it back to him, he reads the letter, and it leads to this whole, like, it leads to this whole thing where you're finding, you're intercepting notes amongst thieves, and you're trying to find out, like, who's on the inside. There's, like, espionage, stories like espionage. It turns out to be, like, Van Cleef. Van Cleef used to be the head of the Foremans, or whatever they're called, that helped build Stormwind, but he never got paid, and he wanted to protect his men, so he's like, screw it, we'll have a life of crime, because Stormwind's all corrupt. It's great storytelling. It's like it was deep, like there were layers, like you follow the whole story, like it went from Stormwind back to Westfall, back to Stormwind, back to Westfall, back to Goldshire, and it was a lot of running around. But in the end, it felt rewarding if you read all the text, because it all built towards a bigger story, and I thought that was brilliant, and I feel like a lot of WoW doesn't do that anymore. But this X-Pack, I feel like, is back to those foundations, where, like, the quest doesn't just end. It's part of telling a bigger story. And if you can remember what all of it did, you'll realize, like, as you're moving through it, you're realizing this person is a traitor. You thought you were helping, but this person's actually a bad guy, and you were doing his deeds. And you didn't realize you were doing a bad guy's deeds. Like, that kind of stuff is fun. Personally. I'm sorry, I'm so rambly. It's just, I just love, I just love that kind of storytelling. A lot of video games are very vapid, and I feel like it's so strange, because video games are one of the best mediums for, like, storytelling, because it's so interactive, and you can really feel, like, engaged with it. So I thought it was so strange that so many people are so lazy with their storytelling for video games. Like, it's just gameplay. It's like, it's so much more than gameplay. The story and the gameplay should be just as important as each other, because when you have both, in my opinion, you have a massive hit on your hands.
Too far away.
Did you hear something, Grant?
It's changing. It's changing.
What was that?
Look at that guy. Oh, it's a dwarf. Oh, it was a jailer. Elden Ring felt all over the place, but the more I started to understand the story, I fell so in love with it. Oh my god, I became so addicted to it because the story was wild.
It's changing. Whoever you are,
Get in here. Oh, Cinemac. Please be my character. It is! Oh, I love it. I love that it's my character. Are you kidding, dude? This is, like, so cool.
Happening to them.
A Scarden transformation in progress. Fascinating.
Stay back, lad.
Like, this is sick. This is cool.
Get away from him.
Granda! That surge of energy! The Scarden's reaction! How did you do that?
I don't know.
I must say, I didn't realize, because I was in bear form for so long, that some of my transmog was replaced by regular gear, but I like that it has been, because the little hat with the flame, and I didn't know that my weapon was a gigantic shovel. That's silly, but it fits the aesthetic right now, so that's sort of funny. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I need to play more with... Yeah, for sure. Achievements in the raiding community still taught... Oh, Christ, you ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding. That's a big problem I have with WoW, is that, like, the rating and the Mythic Plus are so elitist. It's like, I don't care, like, dude. I just don't want to... I don't want to just deal with that. I don't have the patience. I just want to have fun. That's partially why I started streaming, because I'm hoping that if I'm fortunate enough to get a few people to, like, join Discord, maybe we can coordinate events with people that have the same mentality of just, like, wanting to have fun. Really, that was ultimately the goal. Because I think if I say to people, like, hey, join the Discord, I'm not asking for money or anything. I'm saying, like, you want to play WoW? I'd like to play WoW. If you're interested enough, we could probably coordinate something and then do something that we wouldn't be able to do solo together. I think it's enough incentive for people to maybe want to join to try to coordinate, like, to get achievements done for mounts and stuff like that. And I've just had bad luck through WoW. Plus, like, the idea of streaming is fun. So it's sort of like two birds, one stone kind of thing. And you're absolutely correct about people that make movies that are like games, so like no real interaction from like cutscenes to cutscenes. I agree. Yeah, for sure. I never played The Last of Us, but I was told that like the gameplay, people love it because the storytelling was insane. I've never played it, but I was told the gameplay is like sort of subpar compared to the actual story, and I think the story carries the success of the game because it was so unique and interesting. But people that are like, if the game had to be held on the gameplay alone, it's not that great. It's just like it's mediocre from what I've heard. I don't know. I've never played it. I've never even seen it. But I was told that the gameplay on its own is mediocre, but the story is so great that it carries it to like the stardom that it hit. I guess. But I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. But the complaints that I've heard is that The Last of Us spent so much emphasis on the story that the gameplay itself lacked a little bit. But again, it was such a good experience. They didn't care, but people wondered what would have happened if they put as much effort into the gameplay as they did into the story. But these aren't my opinions. I'm just reading... this was actually yesterday I was reading it, so it's funny you brought that up. I knew we're turning Earthen into more... So, I don't know what the Skarden really are, but some kind of mutant. The smell. That's so funny.
Sometimes destiny whistlers, sometimes
People
shit.
chalk on slate, leave messages for each other, so many clues.
On to adventure.
Let's just AoE these guys down. Wait, what's in there? There's a sign. I have to look at that sign after. We'll pull a bunch of them. Just to AoE them down. And then we'll do the quest really quick, and then maybe we should probably call it, because I do got a lot of stuff I gotta do tonight still. Ale and Tail Tavern. That sounds like fun. I really liked... I know you're super busy, and you've like... The stream has, like, taken a hiatus for the time being. But, number one, you're my favorite streamer. Number two, I really liked when we would play, like, Jackbox. If that's what it was called, I believe. That party game. That was so much fun. We would play with, like, all of us, and, like, all your chat would play. Man, that was such a blast. I'm gonna look up this Ale and Tail Tavern, though. Oh, I said, wow, it got crazy reviews on stream. 9 out of 10. You ain't kidding. Wow, it's a first person. That's not what I was expecting. I'm just looking at the images. Wow, I saw you were on, wow, I was not expecting this kind of game based on how you described it. It looks interesting. I'll have to look more into it. I saw you were online on Discord a few days ago, and I with a few other people, and I was curious if you were streaming. But I checked, but I didn't see you online. But I figured you were playing like another game. But maybe that's what you were playing. But you are still my favorite streamer. You'll always be my favorite streamer. I always enjoyed what your streams are so chill, and like the people that would join were cool. Yeah, you curated a very cool community. You had a really neat little thing there. I mean, you still do. I mean, look. You know, the fact that you were able to do it though is really cool. Captured a little bit of lightning in the bottle. I think it also helped that like your personality was very unique compared to most streamers. You were a lot more genuine, and I think that helped. That certainly helped. Jackbox requires a lot of people. Sorry, I just want to die 1 sec. Sadly, the participation drops is hard to play. We were playing Ale and Tail. You can have up to 4 people. Cool. Wow. is this Ale and Tail like God, you call it like survival games, I guess, when you have to like get the resources and stuff? It's like those kinds of games? Like Pal World, I think was like that. I never played it, I just saw you play it a little bit, but I think it was a lot of like collecting resources and stuff. Of course. Of course. I could only imagine. This is the first time in my life that I've had really an opportunity to do it, not just because of the technology, not just because like the internet connection or my computer, but also because like my living situations up to this point have also been very difficult to stream in.
I have been altered, perhaps even chosen.
Interesting. This is a bit of a dark storyline. These people are sort of like human experiments. Dwarf experiments, I guess. But I can definitely see how that transition would absolutely make it harder. So I don't push or ask, but if the time ever does come, I will always be excitedly waiting for you to go live, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Again, like no pressure, but just, you know, we're always excited to see you again. Full transparency, I always loved the idea of streaming, I always wanted to stream, but I always feel like I can't do that. But watching you do it and watching how much fun you had was like the official catalyst of like, I gotta do it. He's like, looks like so much fun. That was like the catalyst. It was watching you do it and how much fun you were having. Haste they both have haste mastery. Am I missing something here? Lose the verse, gain the haste, lose more haste. It just seems like this one I lose more haste. Oh, I'm gaining mastery, more mastery. I understand. I'm so dumb. I get it. Holy moly. Okay, is that all the quests? I think that's more or less the quests. I feel like I should probably call it here. I'm streaming for like at least 2 hours, I think, right? Yeah, almost 2.5 hours. So that's, I think, a decent stream. I didn't even feel like doing it today, so I think that's okay. I'm gonna apologize for anyone that caught this at the beginning. Definitely mellowed out as the stream went on, which was expected, but still, I don't want to hide anything. Full transparency, that was the thing all along, so, you know, no regrets. I can hear it around here. I just want to find this thing before I log, because I'm not going to remember that it was here. Otherwise, I'm going to log back in and forget there's a dragon glyph thing here, so I got to quickly find it before I hop off. There it is. Oh man, that is hidden. Holy moly. How many of these do I have? Wow, good amount. And how many Isle of Dorn? Good amount. Still quite a few I don't have. There's 2 more zones still. Yeah, I didn't look up any of these online. I figured just like discover them when I discover them, and if I hit 80 and I still don't have them all, and I'm still really struggling, then I'll look them up. But I figured let's try to go au naturel at first, see if we can. Okay. You are going to get back to it? I was not expecting that. I'll be honest with you. Ale and Tail is a tavern simulator, though it has a story, and you can gather resources for certain recipes. There is also a dungeon towards the end of the story. It's a tavern simulator, though it has a story, and you can gather resources. Interesting. Okay, I understand. Wow. We had 2 people serving customers, 1 cooking. Jeez. That's fascinating. Next time if you're playing it, wow, I can see how far back this restream is. That's such a delay. What's that all about? But next time you're playing it, if you feel like streaming it on Discord, not even like for everyone to see, just like privately, I would love to watch you guys play, just see what it's like. It sounds like a fascinating game. Wow. But Christ, I should call it. But thank you so much for everybody watching. It was a blast. I don't know if you can raid. If I can raid anyone, I don't even know really what that is. They just say it's polite to do to other people. But that's something I can do. I don't know if that's something I can do. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much to everybody. You guys are the best. The schedule should be, was that raid? Mod view? Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what raiding is. Anyways, thank you guys for everything. This is a blast. It was fun chatting with a few people. As always, like Torin, you're the best. I was not expecting you to pop in. But next stream will be Thursday, I believe. So normally it's Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I believe is the schedule I came up with today. If anyone's watching this VOD at a later date. Around 3 to 5. Today was a little bit later because I had to speak to the veterinarian. But we're also going to have a bonus stream on Friday. Because we reached 10 followers. And I said if we reach 10 followers, we'll do like a special pizza night celebration. So that'll be Friday. Which is like an extra bonus stream if anyone's around. But have a wonderful night, dude. Thank you so much for stopping by. I cannot believe you popped in, but I'm grateful. To everyone else, have a wonderful night. Thanks for giving me your attention for a few hours. It was a blast. It's always a blast. I hope you everyone is well and safe, and if not, hopefully you will be by the time I see you on Thursday. Okay? Try to be present otherwise in the meantime, because sometimes all you have is your self-awareness, and that can often come in handy more often than you think. So be patient with yourself, love thy neighbor, and I'll see you folks soon.